shades, letting her go, letting her rip, letting her fly, tossing her in sideways, living the life, letting her ride, outside, winning to die, cross her up on the cushion, crossing the line, cause some drama and some bullshit they didn't like, and if they don't like the move, then we're ready to fly. But this is how we ride, this is how we do, riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove, don't give a damn about the cash we're spending, with the time we got we choose, to play it on the go, to stay out on the run, we all high, wild and handsome, ain't telling you what's right or wrong, or what to choose, hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. This is how we roll, this is how we do. It's not for everybody but the chosen few. And we pray, cause we know that they might not ever come back. But this is how we ride, this is how we do, riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove, don't give a damn about the cash we're spending, with the time we got we choose, to play it on the go, to stay out on the run, we all high, wild and handsome, ain't telling you what's right or wrong, or what to choose, hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. We can ride high, we can ride low, we can ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we make the show. We can be the best, or we can be the worst, so we can be the best thing you ever heard. With the motor singing and the grandstands ringing, it's hard to put it all in words.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today. We are here. Oh, we should have kind of gradually took it down. I tried to do a little bit of a Trump comb over on this side of my head today for the video pleasures of everyone. Because obviously we have us a Hillary Clinton voter on hand today. Apparently, at least on the phone is Joe. And Joe, first of all, I want to know, everyone needs to know, did you vote for Hillary Clinton?
They need to know this?
I mean, you do. We were at San Jose State. You were talking about civil rights and stuff. People, I guess, assume that since you wanted equality in the 60s for all people, that you must vote for Hillary Clinton. I mean, that must be like yin and yang, right?
Well, you want my answer.
I mean, this is what, I mean.
We're starting off the show with this.
I mean, this
my
is.
My official answer. Okay, but no, let's get to my answer. I don't want you dragging things on. This is going to be 2 hours to begin with. I have officially never registered to vote.
Never
have voted. I don't follow politics.
So did you think that the way you make change in society is voicing and kind of like public displayment and the things that changed and made changes? Obviously, all those civil rights times, they were made changes by protest and stuff. It wasn't like any of those people voted somebody to do something different. They went out and voiced that opinion to make the change they wanted.
Well, when I was a teenager, I saw politicians on TV and they were talking and they wore suits. And I said to myself, these guys aren't doing anything but talking and they want my money.
Right. They live off your money.
And their goal, and no matter what they say, their goal is to see how much money of mine they can get. And every hardworking American, their goal is to get as much as they can. And no matter who's voted in, I don't really know politics. I don't follow it. I don't know which party's in favor of what or against what. But I know no matter who's voted in, my taxes get raised, my PG&E bill gets raised, my property tax on my house gets raised, the food prices, the gas prices. No matter who's voted in, someone like my class of people financially, the prices go up. So I don't see how it matters who's put in office. There's
now,
no point in.
Now, Joe, since our last show, apparently we touched into the politics of the racing world on the West Coast. And I was reached out to by people about you. They were mad at you, I don't know why. I mean, well, it gave me reasons why. One of them was that you voted for Hillary. That's obviously not true now.
It's not true.
But it seems like there's a lot of angst for what you've been saying on here.
Well, this is how humans are in the year 2023. Most people a lot of people solve problems through anger and violence. Whether it's kids shooting up the classroom or it's, policemen, police brutality or, violence in the home. There's a lot of violence. If you don't believe me, just go try to merge on the freeway. See how mad the guy is next to you or the road rage. I mean, it's just how society is. There's always, and it seems like it's growing. The way to solve problems is through anger and violence, and it probably goes back to the caveman solving problems. But
right,
that's a part of it. Yeah, that's how inarticulate, uneducated people, when they can't. It's like a baby when they can't get their way, they just start crying. And when you're an adult, you like getting violent and threatening.
Well, and that's what they said you are. You're on here just crying about these rich people that you're jealous of.
I don't know how that connects to me showing videos of things that are happening. I don't know how. We talked about that on the last show. There's always going to be, I'm going to be discredited. So that's fine. They're always going to say that.
But the video doesn't lie, right?
Well, it didn't in the Rodney King case. I think, the video
as
is
much
the
as
video,
the authorities,
and I'm just showing the video.
In that situation, as much as the white power authorities wanted to keep that under wraps, the video got out,
That's right. The videos get out. And with the racing now, with so much of this stuff on streaming, I can go in and pick out video clips and point things out that I couldn't do for decades and decades. The video evidence wasn't there, so you couldn't really say, well, this happened or that happened, because it was just your word against their word. But you kind of gave me a heads up I'd be on the show for the first time. All the other times on the show, we just winged it. You'd call me and I'd just start talking. But this time I got a 24-hour warning, so I was able to pick through some videos.
Well, and it seems like it's spurred off this Dominic Scelzi deal, because you had an opinion on all this as well.
Yeah, me and Justin, I talked to Justin yesterday morning, and we talked quite a bit about it. And kind of, why, my own personal thought was, why was this particular wreck the one that Dominic commented on? Why, with all the wrecks and all the things that people do on the track, I was putting a lot of thought into why this one. I kind of seems to me like this was, just to throw a phrase out there, this, for Dom, it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. He'd seen enough, and he felt he should speak up, which I'm glad he did. I like when Dom speaks up. And but I don't look at the straw that broke the camel's back. I try to go back in time and look at the million straws that made the camel's back so weak that the final straw broke the camel's back. So I don't look at the final straw as the issue. I try to go back in time and see how this much weight was placed on the camel, that what happened, this is the one he's commenting on. So I thought about it for a couple of days, and I got some videos for you to look at that I think are relevant to this situation and the state of racing, and how did we get here? How did it get to this point? How did this, if you want to call it a flashpoint, how did this occur? What were the circumstances that led to this wreck, where Dom spoke up, and then the Torgerson family stepped in, and then I'm not on Facebook, but I guess, I don't know, maybe hundreds or dozens of people, top line dirt racers all chimed in. Why this wreck?
Right.
So that's kind of what I wanted.
The wreck. We got the wreck on the screen right now, and we just showed Dominic's post.
Okay, let me look. I did.
Where he closed off the line on the outside, it definitely looked like he kind of just didn't care if a car was there.
Well, this goes back. Okay, yeah. Let me watch the video with you. I might be a touch behind you, but first off, you have to look at the parties involved in the wreck. If you want to stop the video there for a second, you got to look at the parties involved. Like in hockey, if there's a violent hit and there's a fine, the fine, they look at the history of who did it. Did he have a pattern of this type of behavior? Was this a one-off incident? And when you're looking at the two drivers here,
which the 21 was Gage Garcia. Some people think it's a Macedo or something because people are used to seeing Cole Macedo in that 21.
Well, Gage has been out here for a couple years.
Okay, in the local regions.
Well, yeah, I've kind of met him in a sense that he's a young driver and he's friends with the other young drivers. And sometimes when I'm standing around the pits, I've seen him come over and talk. And I know the Sanders are friends with, they race micros with the Garcias, and these guys they've been friends, and Gage seems like just a pleasant young man. In saying that, his 2 years into sprint car racing, he's probably crashed out on his own more than any other driver. He's had a lot of wrecks.
Really?
So he has a history of a lot of wrecks. It doesn't mean he's at fault here, but me and Justin were discussing this wreck, and let's keep it rolling. I don't know where you're at. When you're in a car like Torgerson and you're on the bottom, sometimes when you get on the gas, the car sits on the left rear and it kind of wants to wander out to the right. And this goes back to, I talked to Buddy Kofoid's dad this week, and we talked about the wreck at, I think it was Bridgeport in the high limit race. Buddy never saw Zomer because the right side wing panel is so low, and the enclosure of the seats and the banking at some of these tracks, but you can't see out the right side. And I think this is a safety issue that should be resolved. This is a problem.
But Joe, I just paused the video twice, and we see, as he comes off of 4, I paused it. Hold on just a second. Let me get back to where I was at. You could visibly see he has the car squared up, and it looks like anyone could keep that car going straight, and then 20 feet later, you could visibly see the car start to dart to the right, and that's usually only by the driver's ability.
That's true. That's true.
Like right there, the car, I just paused it there. The car's straight and flat.
Okay,
and I don't know how much of a delay you are
when he gets on the straightaway,
it turns right there. On the straightaway, he's turning right there.
He can't see Gage Garcia.
Well, at this point, yes. There. In this video, yeah. So you're saying,
look when you stop it there, Gage's front wheels are maybe to Torgerson's rear wheels, maybe.
Right.
Maybe Gage can get out of the gas. There's no, if you're going to blame someone, it's, in my mind, it's 65% Torgerson, 35% Gage.
Don't you think Gage is expecting that the guy on the initial start of an 8-lap heat race is going to leave a lane for an outside car and not close it into the wall?
Yeah, but you're talking about assuming. I'm talking about what actually is happening on the track.
Well, and that's why I think this is more so a driver confidence issue, because I think Torgerson's pulling this move because he don't think he could outrun Garcia in 8 laps. Well, he's closing off the outside lane. He's definitely closing off the outside lane.
Well, if you don't want to let me talk, he got the jump. He can't see the car in his blind spot. He can't see behind him. He doesn't know that car. He doesn't know where that car's at.
How much of a jump does he think he has? I mean, we could analyze the actual when they
But
jump on the throttle.
Well, he has a whole car length on him.
I mean, right there, it looks like they got on the gas pretty early, or relatively the same time. They look like
he doesn't see that car. That car disappears from his sight.
Okay.
He gets on the gas. He doesn't see the guy. He never sees that car. Now, I'm not saying it's not. I explained it already once. We don't need to keep.
You did say
65%
Torgerson, so.
That's right. But Gage has to take some responsibility. He's beat off the line by a whole car length. He's a whole car length behind the guy. Right. When they initially get on the gas and they cross that white line, he's beaten by a car length. He could tuck in behind him. He could say, "Hey, I've had this conversation with Ricky Sanders, but you're in the guy's blind spot. He does not know you're there. If you stuff it in there and he comes up, there's no innocent victim here."
Yeah, he does have him by a car length right as they get
Why doesn't Gage
that.
just tuck it? Why doesn't Gage just kind of throttle back for a touch and say, "Okay, I don't know where he's going"? You have to use some common sense.
Well, that's also the pressure of being a young driver in a heavily financed car. There is an amount of pressure there where you know that you have been given and gifted an opportunity in one of the best cars in the whole state with a very prominent name, and you're having to put you got to perform when you get out there in those cars,
Okay, well, this is a good segue. This is where I sent you 4 videos of 4 different wrecks that have happened in sprint car racing.
Okay.
By veteran drivers.
Well,
the order.
Dominic was the one that you said you didn't get why he was the guy to say something.
No. Let's not talk about. Just we'll show the 4 videos, and then we'll go back and dissect what we think we're seeing.
Okay.
Dominic is being critical. Dominic felt he's critical of what Torgerson did here. Look, someone wrote Joe is getting butthurt. Joe is.
Don't worry about the commenters. You got to play above the noise. When Michael Jordan goes up to shoot the free throws in game 6 or 7, he ain't worried about the guy 3 rows up yelling, "Fuck you." Screw these commenters. Play above the noise. This is the crowd. We got to play this game above them people. Let them bark. Let them say "fuck you" as you drain threes in their face, Joe.
Yeah. This is amazing. It's an amazing world that my parents brought me into. That I'm trying to show. I had a conversation with my sister. I said, "I can't believe my parents raised me to be hardworking, kind, generous, and sharing, and then they put me in this world and let me. Good luck."
They should have never made you like racing. This is why we got these sports
let's just show
cards.
these 4. Let's just show these 4
we got the
videos.
Dominic video up right now. And where is this at for the people? And Dominic is in the
This is an
Rock 83 car.
SCCT race. This is an SCCT race at Petaluma. This is the closing laps. He's in the Roth car, and he's racing Shane Golobic for the lead. There's like 2 laps to go. They're racing for the lead. Roll this for the people.
Wow. What was that?
Well, we'll talk about that later. This is Dominic Scelzi.
What do you mean? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we got 4 videos to go through. Show all 4. I want all 4 to be shown, and then we're going to go back and dissect each one.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to seem like I'm picking on anyone in particular. I'm just showing videos in general. These are just 4 different videos.
Wow. Who posted that video? Is that a Flow video?
But that doesn't matter. Show the 4 videos, Chaz. Don't waste time dwelling on the same thing.
Okay. And where are we at in this next one? What is this? This looks like I-7. Actually, I remember this. This is I-70. You titled it "The Crash That Ended Mason Daniels' Career." For people who need to see it, look above. You see the Gio Scelzi car. Things are going to happen up there around that car. And you see the 57 of Kyle Larson put a right rear into him, and he goes head on into a wall at I-70, a very fast racetrack. And I think that's why. And I don't think he raced again, did he, Joe?
No, this Mason Daniel never raced again. Let the video roll. There's different.
There's different angles in here.
Yeah, they'll. It's. There isn't.
Now, he
much
did
good
jump
video.
over the
And
cushion, but...
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I want to go back and explain each video as accurately as I can.
Okay. Okay.
He's over the cushion. That's right. Well, we'll go back and okay.
And then this is the Stewart crashes.
Well, that's Kyle's right rear. That's Kyle's right rear going into Mason Daniel, forcing him into a head-on crash.
And then here on the Stewart crashes Sanders, this is the Placerville race. Of course, some viewers who've been watching me and Joe for a minute, they have seen this several times. And this is the one where...
Go back to the start of that video. You can see the cars just tumbling off the track. You can see kind of the violence. Go back to the very start.
Which part do you want to see? Them racing? Because this is a minute-long video.
No, just go to the very first 2 seconds.
Well, this is the first 2 seconds right here where they're racing.
Okay,
the part I was at, I
just
fast-forwarded.
Just let it go. Just let it go for a couple seconds here. You can see the position of the cars on the track, and they're coming to the white flag, basically. This is the dash. This is a follow the leader dash, like many of the outlaws are. Well,
you're 30 seconds behind, Joe. It's going to be real hard for you to comment on the videos in a way, in the way you're trying to.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
It's
okay.
And then this last one, what is this?
So I don't know if you've ever seen this video. I don't know how many viewers have ever seen this video. I thought this was an important video for mainly because of Dom's response. I thought this last video was important, something that happened in racing. If you can see, this is Terre Haute. It's a big track.
Okay.
You can see a car start to blow its motor. See the smoke in turn 3 and 4?
Yeah. Well, we're in turn 2 now, live with the viewers. So
okay.
We're down the back.
See that car's on fire? See that car on fire going all the way around the track?
Yes.
Okay, keep your eye on that.
It's coming off of 4 right now, and it looks like it's coming.
And watch what the car does.
Down.
Okay, watch what the car does.
Stopped in the middle of the track.
I'm just trying to get context on the Torgerson situation. See where the car stops?
Wow. Yeah,
see
we're looking at
sitting?
the crash right now over and over. Who is this that went up into the fence? Do you even know?
Yeah, I know the whole story.
Oh, my gosh. And who's involved here? Who's on the track stopping like that?
Well, do you want me to comment on this, or you want to go back?
Okay.
I just want to
go
show
back.
the 4.
Okay, let's go back to the first one. Okay, so
I just wanted to show you these are all terrible wrecks, in my opinion. These are all worse than what Torgerson did. And the key word here, the key word that I want to focus in on is intent.
Okay.
The intent. Did Torgerson intend to crash Gage Garcia? Do you think that was his intent, or do you think he made a mistake as a young driver?
I think it was. I think it definitely was a mistake. You know, it wasn't. Nobody wants to destroy their cars.
A young driver.
And have everyone hate him and have Dominic talking shit about him on Facebook. I'm sure that wasn't his plan.
Okay. Now let's go back to this first video.
We're already on it. Like I said, you're going to be behind if you're trying to watch off the screen.
Okay, I'm a little behind.
You might as well just pull up your own video so that you can dissect it how you want and just tell me the seconds on.
No. I can comment a little behind you. But this wreck at Petaluma. Now this is just my opinion. I see intent. I see a driver. As they go down the back stretch, that's Shane Golobic in the 17 car. Shane comes down and there's contact. See the contact before they hit turn 3? And I see intent that the 83 driver, if you just watch him, he drove, I kind of showed a little lap before to get a little context.
Yeah, we got the lap before playing right now, Joe. This is what I was talking about. You might want to just watch your own video and tell me where you're at.
Okay, well, they're just...
Yeah, we're just seeing him push him into the wall.
But if you just watch the 83 car enter turn 3 low, he almost touches the turn 4 wall. He almost touches the turn 4 wall. He left the car on the outside.
Yes.
The car on the outside has nowhere to go. This is, to me, an intent. This is an intent to crash somebody. That's what I see. I don't know if people are going to say I'm complaining. I don't know.
Or like I said all the time, the worst thing in the world is hypocrisy. And you know, obviously Scelzi is like the leader of this whole Torgerson complaining thing. And for this to be the example, maybe Torgerson watched this race and said, "This is how you do it." I don't know, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, maybe because there was no fine. He was DQ'd from this race for rough driving, actually, which is kind of strange because he actually never touches Golubic, which is it's kind of strange.
it is funny.
Strange.
Golubic gave room. Golubic is a very clean racer, you know, so very clean.
But to me, the key word is intent. It looked like a purposeful act done with a race car. And what if Shane breaks his neck when he hits that wall? What then?
That's a pretty hard wreck.
I mean, for Dom to say, you know, people can get hurt. People can get hurt. He's concerned about safety, and this looks like a move he pulled up. Now, I just think the public should see it. I'm saying if you're going to call the kettle black, or you're going to live in a glass house, that I think it's for fairness. Once again, I'm trying to be fair. That I think this.
Didn't Dom have a physical issue with Golubic this year as well in this season? Or was that Bernal? Who was it that he got out of the car and they had an issue over there? You remember what I'm talking about?
Don't know. No, but I think didn't he in Trophy Cup get physical with Devin Borden?
Last year, yeah. I heard, yeah.
No, it was a couple of years ago. Okay, well, let's go to the next video.
Okay.
Let's go to the next.
I swear there was a year where he got, like, actually physical. There was, like, a deal on the track, and I swear it was somebody in the NOS cars, but regardless. So now we're at I-70 with the Mason Daniels situation. We're clicking play right now. You have to mention. Go ahead. Yeah, but the camera's not on this wreck or the precursor to what actually happens here. Mason Daniel did jump the cushion. He did jump the cushion and gather the car up. So he is really not up to speed. And I believe that Kyle, we'll never know because we don't have the full video. I don't think in any way Kyle intended to do this, because a car kind of came back on the track. And if you notice, another thing about safety, you know, the Mason Daniel car is mainly black. It's a dark colored car, darker colors coming kind of off the cushion and back on the track. So I believe that Kyle... But there is a silver-white fence around the track in his background. So you would think at a level viewing point, you could see that car out there, because the background of that black car is going to be silver and white.
But for the Torgerson wreck to be called out, and this...
So you're saying the Torgerson and the Garcia wreck had about as much intent as this wreck right here with Daniel and Larson?
That's right. I don't think there was any intent on Kyle in any way. He's hitting a lap car. There's no reason.
I believe he's racing Scelzi for the lead right here too. I think.
No.
He
was back in I think they were back in about 6th place.
But they're racing for position.
The race. Yeah, but this is similar to Buddy. This is similar to the Buddy. He did not see Zomer. I think once again, I'm pointing out the right side of the car. The wings, you're so enclosed in the car that I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle doesn't even see this car. That his mind is not even looking in that almost direction until it's too late. Because
he probably saw it jump the cushion going down the back straightaway and not on the actual groove. So he just drove it in there like maybe he's pulling to a stop. He don't know, you know.
Yeah. Because I see no intent in that. But to me, I still think the right side panel, with the vision of the drivers, these are right side of the car wrecks. What usually is on an oval, because the inside car, it's hitting the outside car. But let's go to the next one. I just think that was.
I was just saying, if that's your excuse there, I mean, Dominic has the same excuse at Petaluma, right?
You think these are similar?
I don't think they're similar, but I mean, I guess if you were trying to play I don't know guy, you could say that. Yeah, but
the thing about the Dom thing is, I showed the prior lap. he wasn't running this pattern. He wasn't running from the bottom of 3, touching the wall, coming out of 4. What he did was abnormal.
Yeah, he was running the bottom like that and coming up, but
If
not
you look
like
at the prior lap.
Yeah, we just looked at it. We're looking at it right now. And then it's just was there issue a lap before? Did Golubic like rough him up a lap before or something? I mean, regardless, I guess the point is retaliation to that degree is something that shouldn't be taught to younger drivers, I guess is what you're saying.
Not sure.
Okay, final video that you wanted here.
We got 2 more. We got 2 more to go.
We got two more. That's right. Now the Shane Stewart situation at Placerville. We're playing it on the screen right now.
This to me has intent. This is a deliberate act. And you would say, well, of course it's my car, so everyone can jump in and say this is just Joe complaining. But this is an outlaw dash. I have never seen before or since an outlaw dash. You could see the checkered flag waving. Right. They're on the last lap running 6th and 7th on a dash in a 49-lap main event to come with the checkered, with just, 10 seconds to go around the track. And 2 cars were junked. These 2 cars were destroyed. Wow. I don't believe that Shane Stewart, with a history of the success he had in the sport, is making a judgment error to that degree. I think he didn't know his car was going to ride up, his right rear was going to ride up on Justin. I think he had all the intent to hit that car off the track. Of course, he didn't intend to take himself with him, but I'm going back to the word intent again. This to me is a driver with the intent. And what I want to point out is, I believe someone like Dominic Scelzi was at this race, but there was no Facebook post the next day about what Shane Stewart did to my car and my driver and our chance of winning the main event and costing me over $10,000. Nobody Facebooked this. This was fine. This was okay. This was, I think most people in the pits probably enjoyed it. They got to move up a spot and didn't have to race Justin. This there's no problem with. This here. Even though this looks intentionally done to me. In fact, when Stewart got out of the car, he blamed Justin, and he wanted to mouth off to Justin, and Justin, of course, wanted to fight him, but the officials step in. It was not a driver who said, I made a mistake. He did not have any thought that he did anything wrong. He felt he was in the right. So nobody in the pit area confronted him, or there was no fine, or there was no rough driving, or everyone just went their way and put the cars on a tow truck and let's get the racing program going. This was not commented on. 0 comments. Yeah, you can see the violence of them flipping off the track if you go back there. Kind of what I was getting at. See that? See how hard they were hitting on a... Yeah, I mean, they just catch the very tail end. I mean, you got cars flipping end over end. This is in a dash, mind you. This is in a meaningless last lap of a dash. Cars running 6th and 7th. There's Rico. He was leading the dash. The violence. Once again, what if Justin had gotten hurt? What if he'd gotten paralyzed? What then? But this was swept under the carpet, and this is fine, and no one had a problem with it.
Well, so no you're saying that even though some people seem to be like virtue signaling on this, that there was plenty of other times to virtue signal, and it wasn't done. Why was, like you said, what led up to the straw breaking the camel's back?
Yeah, well, I'm just showing this is what the sport. I'm getting to. How did we get? My earlier comment. How did we get to where we got to? Maybe Torgerson was watching this race at home with his dad, and he said, "Hey, look at how Shane Stewart took him out. That's okay." You're sending a message to young drivers that this is okay. He didn't get fired from his ride. There was no penalty. You didn't see if the Outlaws would have announced that Shane Stewart's suspended for a month without pay and he's fined, maybe young drivers would, and when they're talking to their dads and they see racing, because, a lot of young kids are watching this stuff, dirt racers, micro kids, outlaw car kids, you would send a message. I'm getting to how did we get to where we got to? You can't just look at the final straw. These are just a couple items that I, picked up in 24-hour notice just to kind of explain to people how we got where we got to. Now, let's go to the last track.
Yeah, you got this last one right here that we just.
The last one I think is going to be the most interesting to people of what transpired here. I don't know how many people even know this happened. This, I believe, is 2009 at Terre Haute, and
okay,
I got it's September 29th, 2009 at Terre Haute. And this one I thought was most relevant to Dom's comments. The driver in the car that is smoking is 17 years old. That's a 17-year-old driver.
In 89, what is it, Justin Grant or something? Or
No. Let me just set the stage here. That is a 17-year-old driver whose motor was coming apart, and he drove around the track. Did he drive around 1.5 laps, Chaz, with the smoke billowing out?
It looks like at least a full lap, and then I guess you would count the
half. Okay. First off, what? Just looking at that before I get into who did what and who they were, what do you think of that? A 17-year-old driver doing that. What's your thoughts?
Obviously, you would think that somebody would have got on the receiver and said, pull into the infield, or gave him some kind of direction on what to do. Coming to a stop in the middle of the straightaway at such a big track like Terre Haute on it looks like a halfway dusty day. I mean, even in the video, even though it's a grainy video, you could barely see turn 3. You could barely see the car smoking at points, even though it's huge. But the big mistake here would have been parking your car in the middle of the straightaway in the middle of the straightaway.
If this had happened last week with a 17-year-old driver, do you think Dominic would have commented?
I think the whole world would be calling this. If this was Ashton Torgerson or anybody, whoever this would have been, and they just, I guess you said, or would be like a bonehead move.
Okay.
People would be chastising this guy. They would say this is a guy that don't belong in the sport anymore. He doesn't even know how to stop his car. He's just a young idiot. This is the type of stuff that would support the 18 and older type of rhetoric that I'm saying we need in 410 and super late models.
I think you led me right into what I want to get to. The driver who crashed and flipped in the fist was Travis Roots. He suffered severe brain damage. And is pretty much a vegetable in a wheelchair, I believe, to this day. Travis Roots was 21 years old. He never walked again. He never recovered from this. I don't even know if he can speak again. Now, you want to know who the driver was, the 17-year-old driver?
If you say Justin Grant or something like that, because this is Indiana, I'm thinking it has to be an Indiana guy. I can't even really tell the number.
Okay.
69?
You want me to tell you?
Is it a Coons car? Who is this guy?
David Gravel.
No.
It's David Gravel.
It is an 89. Wow. And his car went flipping too pretty bad.
Sure.
You would assume it would be possibly destroyed. He obviously didn't sustain the injuries that this guy sustained, but
yeah, he's not. His life wasn't changed forever. His family's life wasn't changed. This is a kid who's crippled in a wheelchair. But there was no. I don't remember any. Maybe Facebook.
Well, social media wasn't that big in 2009, but believe it or not.
But I'm saying this is David Gravel. David Gravel could easily be called the best driver in the country. I don't think it's a stretch, or put him in the top 3. He could be outlaw champion. Maybe Ashton Torgerson in 15 years could be an outlaw champion. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying if this is if kind of awareness of what to do on the racetrack could judge a 17-year-old's career, this is probably the most unaware thing that anyone should do. You know, stop.
Well, no,
I'm
just trying to put context. I'm trying to put context to why was Dom vocal about what happened this week? When, if you do a little history check and you go back in sport, drivers have made mistakes and drivers have made errors, and
retaliational, like the Petaluma one we're looking at right now too.
Well, I don't know. I just thought I don't really know what to say. So summing it all up, I just thought it.
You got two guys here who have basically had their lives changed. I mean, Mason Daniel never raced again, like you said, and then the one guy is, I guess a Shane Mills style situation, or.
Well, I just thought in fairness to the Torgerson family and Dom's comments, and I know then the Torgerson father responded, and it gets into name calling, and it degenerates down to. Okay, that's enough of showing the videos. See, what I wanted to get to is how did it get to where the things Dom is saying is correct. Dom's comments are correct, but it's not the Torgerson's fault. It's the sport's fault. It's how the sport is laid out at fault. If it wasn't Torgerson. If it wasn't Torgerson, it would be somebody else. The young kids.
Well, and from what you're saying, it's been that way a lot this year. You said the Garcia guys wrecked a bunch. I'm sure what happened with Torgerson and Garcia's happened multiple times. I thought when you were saying straw that broke the camel's back, I thought you were more so what made Dom say something today or yesterday.
That's exactly that. Well, that's exactly what I am saying. Why did Dom comment on this? Does he not know the history? Does he not know what he did? He should have said, "Hey, I made this mistake," or what he did with Golubic, he doesn't see as a mistake. I mean, I just think it's like a court trial. If you're going to try somebody in a public arena, that all the evidence on both sides, should be out there. That's all I'm saying. They were trying this Torgerson kid on a public forum for the world to see, and they, and I don't have all the facts, and I'm just trying to shed light on the whole sport, and these are very complex problems. These are not, this guy is the problem if he leaves, the sport is saved. There's many things that I think are wrong. And somebody calling out one wrong as opposed to a different wrong, and then they get into a pissing match. It's not going to solve anything from continuing to happen, and maybe tragical situations like we see here. I mean, this is as sad as it gets for the Roots family. So another thing I see, like, these drivers standing on wings after races, or the midget non-wing guy standing on the cage after races. I remember seeing Chimez fall off the cage once, and everyone laughed. But your shoes are a little slippery and muddy, and the wings are slippery and muddy, and eventually someone's going to fall off one of these things and break their neck, and then they'll ban it. And then they'll, but why?
It would be pretty crappy if Kyle's up there with Owen or something and a slip, and then that would be like the 9/11 type situation.
Well, there's just so many things in the sport that are, they're just not right, and the sport itself is not right. When I was 6 years old and my dad took me a quarter midget track, and he asked me if I wanted to race, and I said, yeah. We had to go through a training course. At 6 years old, you had to, learn how to buckle yourself in and learn what the flags were and learn, the pattern of driving and how to pass correctly. And you had to go through a whole little training course, 5 and 6 and 7 year old kids. And then you had to, drive through cones, and they had to see if you could handle the car. Then you had to do some exhibition races, and then you got graduated. You got your racing diploma. In fact, I remember the date of mine, May 24th, 1964. That's when I got my racing diploma, and I got to race for the first time. There's no
vetting.
Even Kyle Larson, who I consider the greatest driver of the generation, he had to go to Indy and go through a training course. I know it's kind of a formality because of how good Kyle is, but nevertheless, there is a procedure that you have to go through to race. And the sport we have of sprint cars, there's no procedures. You buy a car, you can show up. And there's Formula One used to have a 107% rule for many years, where if you didn't qualify within 7% of the pole sitter, you weren't allowed to race. Basically, if you're too slow, we don't want you on the track.
Right.
That went on for many years.
Well, now they have a point system, and Kyle, or his dad told me that Kyle can't even do Formula One because he doesn't have the enough world points.
Yeah, but I mean, there's certain things you have to do to qualify. Where sprint car racing, I mean, Justin this year at Knoxville, he crashed in hot laps running into a car that was, not up to speed. Sometimes there's cars not up to speed, but at Ocean Speedway there's wrecks every race because there's cars not up to speed, but they don't care because they're only getting 18 cars, so they don't want to turn anybody away. But the sport itself is creating dangerous situations, and because there's no governing body, there's no United States governing sprint car body where kids have to go through a certain training and you have to race a certain amount before you can move up in class. There's no restrictions on anything. It's just a mishmash of what we have. People just showing up. They don't even tech the cars for safety. Back when I raced San Jose, and we used to have a tech we went through for safety. And even when I was with the micro kid helping at the micro races, they would check to see your helmet, your seat belts, and the safety of your car.
Well, they are still supposed to do that at the beginning of the year, every year. They're supposed to
Who
do
does?
that. They're supposed to go car to car. I mean, I had safety inspection when I raced, even in Arizona and New York, Iowa. You got a guy that comes around, some race director. He checks the date on the belts, the date on the helmet. You're supposed to be checked.
Yeah, but like at Ocean Speedway, you just roll the car out and you race. There's nobody, nothing's checked. It's not checked for safety or legality, or there's no. But I'm saying this is what leads to the Torgerson. It's not the Torgerson's fault. It's not the Garcia family fault. It's what the circumstance of the sport and how it's built and how it's governed and how it's guided creates. They created this. It's like if you're in a lab and you pour certain chemicals, you create this. This point we got to is inevitable with the system you're using to build or run the sport. I would say, the outcome is inevitable if you do these things. So I just didn't think it was fair that this driver and family were kind of attacked when the real problem lies within the sport itself, and that is the real problem. The real it's what would put the weight on the camel's back. This is how we got to where we got to.
Right. Now,
and I don't think it's.
Go ahead.
Continue. Well, I'm just saying I don't think there's any way to solve the sport because what they do at Bakersfield or Chico or USITS or Beaver Dam or wherever you're at, I mean, it's different governing bodies. There's different people. There's almost different rules, different formats. There's no. It's not. Sport's not big enough like the NFL or the NHL or any of these professional entities or the PGA where there's a governing body that oversees everything and runs everything.
And that's another reason gambling doesn't get involved too, because who's to say that some guy placed a big money bet on some guy to win and he just goes out there with his, cramper lamper car and just makes sure that guy don't win. You know, just shows up with the race car and races and blocks a guy, or is a lap car and takes a certain leader out for money purposes. Say he put $20,000 on Brad Sweet to finish outside the top 5. You know, all you gotta do is go out there and make sure that Brad Sweet don't finish in the top 5, and you profit $1 million. So I mean, there's a lot of angles to look at that.
Well, but I mean, it's to pick on. I don't want to keep saying the same point. We can move on to other subjects, but I just think. I don't know if it was unfair. I think everything Dom said was correct. I don't want to say what he said was unfair. I just think I don't really know what to make of it. I'm just saying, in the overview of what the sport is and how it was created and how we got to where we got to, that it turns into people inside the sport. Whether you're talking about the Scelzis, the Torgersons, I guess that's what we'll talk about. When you think about the money and the time that these families have invested in this sport, that we're all on this channel because we support it and we love it. When you think that there's this type of anger and friction between people over people doing the same thing, it's when I don't think it's anyone's fault, but the sport itself created the monster.
You think it could have been somewhat of a proxy situation because Tarleton's and Scelzi's are from that like Fresno region, right? Or the
that's another angle on it. I mean, if you say any more, or you want to start trying to analyze deeper why this was the flashpoint, the only thing I could add is, with Gage, having so many wrecks this year, and I heard things like the Tarletons were limiting how much they were going to spend, and Gage's family had to spend more, and the Gage Garcia family seems like a great family, and maybe Dom's friends with them, and he was kind of mad that the Garcia family is going to have to go through more financial hardship over a wreck that maybe wasn't Gage's fault. And maybe
if that's the case, then they can get a glimpse of your anger, because that's why you get so mad. You put a lot of money into this stuff, and people have just junked it. Like with the people who have junked it are the ones with those unlimited finances, and people would think of that Tarleton car as an unlimited finance situation.
Well, and I always read the comments about me. I knew people say it on the comments. I don't know. I guess not everyone's listening to everything I say every minute, the hours we spend on the show, but I knew the sport I was getting into. I put the car on the track, and I took my risk. And you destroy cars. If you race long enough, cars are going to be destroyed. I understand that, and I don't have a problem with that. And I'm not complaining. For your viewers, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying, but when your car's intentionally crashed, that is something I will complain about.
Well, I was just sort of speculating, because once again, facts are boring, speculation is fun, that it seems like the Garcia situation with speculation that we're having here is it was a situation where a big bill is going to have to be paid by somebody who's just trying to go racing.
Yeah. Well, it does bring up the interesting scenario. If that 21X car was the 121 car, would Dom have spoke up? We'll never know that, but that's kind of what you're getting at.
Right, because of the proximity alliance, just because the cars and the people, there are different sectors of people, right? In California, it's different groups of kind of people.
Well, there's all kinds of things here, sure. But this is just, I don't keep going around in circles here, but.
Right, you did, no, okay, fine. The video is titled Joe Gets Personal. You did tell me earlier that you were going to get personal. Everything so far doesn't seem personal, Joe. So what's personal?
Well, the thing that's personal is, everybody is looking through it through their own eyes and rose-colored glasses. And you had people call you, and they will call me names and say things that aren't true, and there's anger in their voice, and and the
you voted for Hillary
theme, yeah, Hillary, me and Hillary. The main theme of this is, and this is what I keep bringing up on the show, is my association in my racing with Justin Sanders. That is always the I don't want to use the word problem people have with me, or it goes back to the anger at us and Justin, and I come on and I show videos, and then the other side has, and I'm begging anybody with any video of my 121 car ever taking anybody out to put it up or come on the show. I self-police what I put on the track. The people that I get involved with, that I trust with my car, which is my name and my reputation on the track, is important to me. And
do you think that gets lost in today's rent-a-ride scenario?
Well, no, I'm just going to tell my story, and then you can listen.
Okay.
I'll bring up an example. People will say, in Joe's eyes, Justin can do no wrong. If to say something like that, you don't know me at all. There's nothing that is more critically looked at by anybody, and I'm talking about myself, than who's in my car. Someone put Joe drove for you. Justin hasn't driven for you in years. That's irrelevant. Well, see, this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to build the history of how things got to where they got.
Don't read comments. Just focus
on
shooting
I'm saying,
threes. Hello? I think the FBI got to Joe. Oh. Maybe Broke Joe didn't pay the phone bill today. Trying to ignore commenters. Oh, it's over. Oh. Now he's back. Hold on. Let's see. We got to get it back. Hold on. We're getting to the personal side, and the world is trying to stop it from happening. Okay.
What do you got?
All right, you're back. Sorry, something happened. I don't know if it's because we talked about the commenters or what, but
no. Here, I'm helping a customer here. Hold on. All right.
Doing work today.
Well, let's get back. Yeah.
Well, and some people, speaking of Justin, some people were trying to tell me that you used to hate Justin when Golubic was driving your car. Thought he was a hot cannon behind the wheel and he's going to junk your shit. That's what people were saying.
That's true. I'm out when I go out to race. My goal is to win the race. I'm here to win, and the other drivers, I'm not really here to be friends with anybody. And something I see in professional sports, especially the NBA and the NFL, is after a game, these guys stay on the playing field, the court or the field, and they hug each other, and they'll exchange jerseys, and I don't like that look. I'm not doing that. I wasn't brought up doing that. If you're friends with a guy on the other team, you can hang out in the off season. You can call each other at night, but to publicly do a professional sporting event and then the game ends and you lose 34-0, and you think I'm going to go out to the center of the field and stand there for the TV cameras to film me talking to my opponent? You think that's a good look for sports? You don't. Apparently, people don't have a problem with it. I do. And when I started off and raced with Shane for 7 years, Justin was one of the main competitors, and I didn't know him and I didn't like him. That's true. Why would I like him? What reason would I like Justin Sanders? What do I care about him for?
You're trying to beat him.
The Golubics, and we're. Yeah, and it was important to us to beat him. and I wanted to beat him. And it's Justin, you know, I mean, and we're going to show in videos here on these tight bull rings.
Hey, you sent me some more links.
Racing,
I don't know what these links
we're
actually are.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But let me preface all this. This racing is close. These are close bull ring races. These races are won or lost on a move here or a move there in traffic. This stuff happens. It happens fast, and moves are made. And I have hatred towards my competitors. If someone accused me of that, yeah, I agree. Is that wrong?
No. I mean, if it's true, at least you're owning it.
I'm talking while I'm in the pit area. While I'm in that pit, I go in that pit area. I'm not here to. I don't. Now, is it different if you see that person in a different setting? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. You know, some people you make friends with. It's like high school or grade school. Some guys on the playground you're friends with, and some you're not. But for someone to accuse me of saying, well, he didn't like Sanders, and then he got Sanders, didn't like Golubic, that's absolutely true. Dead on. Congratulations. Somebody got something right.
So are these the replays you sent me? Are they dead on? Are they right? What's these replays?
Well, we have to go back. Once again, this is why I'm glad you put me on a show. When you first met me, I believe it was 2019.
19
5 years ago.
Was the traveling year, yes, the Rambling Man.
That's right. You came out here and met me, and you knew there was friction. You never met me before, but you knew there was friction. The history
you put
of this,
Long Live the Chaz on the car, first of all. You called me out there with your sign in the air. Batman came.
Well, I'm getting back to I'm setting, you know, I'm saying a story. If people don't want a long drawn out story, then they can go to Wing Nation. It'll be 7 minutes long, and they can hear Rico selling stuff out of his trailer. You know, if that's what they want, then go there. But these are like novels. This is a long, involved story. This is complicated, and I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how I saw what happened and how we get to the point of last week at the Fall Nationals. The race is tilted, in my opinion, in Shane's favor by a bad call. How did we get there? This is just like the Dom thing. How did it get to that point? I'm trying to paint the picture for the listeners. How did it get to that point? Why did it arrive? They say, oh, Joe's complaining about a call. No, you don't know the history and what happened over the last 15 years to where it got to that. And I'm trying with video and intelligent conversation to explain as clearly and as unbiased as I can of how it got there. How did it get to where it got to? And it's a complicated story. Yeah. You know, it's an emotional story. I get choked up just thinking about it, saying it, because it touches, you know, families and, you know, their children and competition. It touches all that. And, you know, things happen that'll never be patched up.
Right. So this first video, I guess we got on the screen that we.
Well, we got to go back to a little. We got to go before we get to that video.
Okay.
The time I was with the Golubic family was 7 years. Shane was 16, and we went racing, and it's no big deal. You're just friends racing. The team at that point was basically 6 people. It was Shane. He was in high school. His dad John, who went to work, and his grandfather Dennis, who he worked. He was kind of partially retired. And then there was 3 other guys. There was Bill Fossbender, his friend Glenn, and me. There was a balance of power in the 6 people. You know, there were 6 people involved. There were 6 people's opinions. And the Golubic family was one half, and me, Bill, and Glenn were the other half. There was a balance of power. And between the 6 of us, we worked to get Shane from a beginner to winning an outlaw race. Now, I don't know how many people out there listening would like to win an outlaw race, that are in dirt racing that are starting out or struggling to win or figuring out how to win. But the 6 of us collectively working together got to that. We climbed the mountain.
And for the record, if you shop at WRAYVON.com, the logo's on the screen, we can get you to an outlaw win as well.
I can only advise you how we did it and what we did. There's people who can't seem to figure it out. The percentage of dirt track racers in a sprint car as opposed to the percentage of sprint track racers who won an outlaw race, I don't know what the numbers are. But this was not done on a big budget. This was not, we just came in and bought, 8 motors and we had a professional crew chief and we got a professional driver. This was done from beginners. These were people, hardworking, middle-class people who collectively, the group of 6 of us, in all our opinions and all our thoughts, went into this, and we rose from winning a local race to winning an outlaw race. I mean, I think that's an interesting story to people. How did they do it? How was it done? Who did it? Who made the decisions? Because people can't figure it out. There's people out there, they're not going to win ever. So I'm just giving you a little backstory. Now, as time goes on, things change. Everyone gets older, and you go through experiences. And, things change. The dynamic of the 6 people changed dramatically when Bill got cancer. I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it. But it changed everything within the 6 people. I almost need a break.
Well, we got the win on the screen right now where he took the checkered, but what you're talking about happened prior to that, right?
No, Bill got cancer the year before.
And so Bill was around in this situation when y'all won at Antioch?
No. He wasn't there. He was in the hospital.
Okay. So something that acted very fast.
He was the heart. He was the heart of the team. He was a retired city worker, and he used to come down twice a week and work on the car. I ran my screening business. Shane was in school. John went to work. Dennis was kind of semi-retired, and Glenn was Bill's friend who would show up at the track. But Bill was the heart of it. He was the one who did the work. He would come over here and talk about what we need. Hey, Joe, I'm going to Kading's. He was best friends with John. He was the go-between. He was the buffer. Him and Dennis would get into their little rows, and Bill would want to quit, and I'd have to talk him into staying. And I said, no, Bill, we're on the verge, man. You can't quit. And he was the that made
so he's
it
the
go.
one that kind of made that Golubic relationship work the best.
I think so. And it kind of climaxed when he was sick with this victory. That was the pinnacle. I think it was like fate. It was kind of, if you look at the 121, if you look at the big one and you pause it, see the pause? Look at the 1 on the right side of the panel. That's Bill's name in there. If you zoom in a little bit on the panel of the wing.
You can kind of make out that it says Bill.
It's Bill in a circle.
Yeah.
His path, and for us to all to watch him, get sicker and sicker and pass away.
Wow, I didn't even know Shane Golubic had a YouTube. That's what this is on. So check out Shane Golubic's YouTube channel. He's got 7 subscribers, but hey, that's where this video's at. Were you even at the track, Joe?
Yeah, I'm there in the red jacket. I got a New Jersey Devils jacket on.
The symbolism.
Well, the story behind me even going to that race is strange. That was I believe, a Friday night. I was working, and the outlaw format was such where they had 4 heat races. I'm trying to remember exactly. They had 4 heat races, and they inverted the top 16. So people asked me if I go, and I said, well, if Shane qualifies in the top 16, I'll go. And we were watching qualifying here, and he got to like 11th quick, and there was got down to 4 cars to go, and I said, okay, I'm going. So while I was driving there, we heard him win the heat race, and when I walked in, he picked the front row of the dash. And so I did happen to go there, but trying to gather myself here, but that changed the dynamic of the people. It's like a band member passing away, and it had an effect on everybody. It wasn't just one guy leaving the group. It changed how all the rest of us saw each other. And, and things changed. And then it just slowly disintegrated into Glenn didn't seem to be welcome anymore because he was Bill's friend. And then Shane brought in Chris, one of his best friends. So it turned from a 3-3 balance to it was 4-1. It was 3 Golubics and their friend Chris, and then it was me. So the guidance of what should be doing, or me bouncing things off Bill. And it changed because Shane was getting older, and he was getting out of school, and he was learning how to work on the car from Bill. So it changed, everything changed. It just changed everything. It changed everything. And then, Shane got older. He was graduating college. I felt he should get a job. His dad didn't think he should, and I was right in the midst of a 25-year run of putting in about 80 hours a week, and someone living at home, not holding a real job, was an impasse that I spoke out about. And here's the important thing too. I think back on how this all went down, and I made mistakes in how I handled and the things I said were wrong. And the only scenario I could give you is, let's say you were going to paint the room today, like Chaz, you're going to paint your bedroom. You would go to the store and you would buy the paint, and then you try to figure out what brushes are the best, and you'd have all this thought in your head of how to paint. What? Yeah.
Painter's tape.
You'd have all these thoughts in your head on how do I paint the room? Okay, then you come back and you take 10 hours to paint the room, but by the time you get done painting the room, if you had to do it again the next day, you would say, you know what? I should have done this differently. I should have I should use that brush. I should have got this extension. The roller I got was too fluffy.
Basically.
That's right. And this relationship I had with the family racing was the first time I'd ever been through something like this. So the way I handled things, because of the way I thought and the way I was brought up, turned out to not really be correct, in that it was too personal. I crossed the line from maybe coaching a driver to being too personal of what I was saying and why we were losing. And when you start doing that, you're almost questioning how the family raised the driver. It gets the mom and dad don't like you. It's almost like, why wasn't Shane going to work? You guys raised him like this. I wasn't raised like this. I don't like it. It crossed the line from a race team to like personal judgments of character and the direction someone should live their life, which I really had no right to do. I was wrong. But I never did it with the intention of malice or meanness. I just did it to try to help the car go faster. and it was the only way I knew how to do it. So it turned into, boy, just a nightmare for everybody. And things were said and things happened that can never be patched up. It can never be like it was.
And this whole situation with you and Golubic segues into these videos you sent me in what way?
Because
because people are confused right now. We just saw a video. You're crying over Golubic. You're saying you
no. I'm not crying over.
Stuff.
You're misinterpreting.
Well, you're not crying over Golubic. You're crying over the whole situation and how it went. I didn't misinterpret it.
It was our friend Bill. It was our friend Bill. If you could yell over me, right. I don't need to talk.
Well, no, I made an exaggerated statement. I feel like you were upset.
Of course, I'm not here to exaggerate statements. I'm not here for clickbait. I'm trying to tell you the story of what happened in between human beings, not some bullshit clickbait you're looking for. Okay, don't assume what I'm saying. I'm not crying over the Golubics.
No, you're crying over Bill and the whole
I'm explaining we had a friend pass away. We had a dear friend pass away.
Right,
Jesus
but
Christ.
I think people are confused on how it went from that situation to,
well, I'm painting the picture. Weekend. I can't jump to chapter 8 upon chapter 2.
Well, no, that's why I referenced these videos that you sent me that I'm supposed to play.
Well, we'll get to the videos. If people want to turn out. I'm trying to tell you the story. Some asshole or people are jumping in with their conclusions. Let them tell the story. Go on, go listen to some other show. Go listen to the radio.
Right. Well,
it
just seemed like you said.
I'm trying to tell you what happened as accurately and honestly as I can of what happened. When you came here in 2019, one of your main things was you wanted to know what happened. You knew there were bitterness because it was talked about, because you couldn't go in the pits without somebody wanting to know what happened.
Right.
You got wind of it. You roll into the town, you're in the pit area, you get wind of there's trouble. You were here 5 years after it happened. It's now 10 years ago.
Right.
And, people want to know, how did this happen? What happened? Why did it happen?
Right, and you were just getting to the end of your explanation with the whole Golubic deal, and you were kind of repeating yourself, so I was like, so people probably want to know, how did it go from, and I was referencing these videos, so I was trying to carry you along to the next subject of the story.
Well, we're getting to that. I was right there anyway. I was out of racing then. I was out of the sport. I said, okay, well, that's the way it went. And then you had Shane and Justin running at Ocean a lot, and there were crashes, and there were, it was racing, and
So did Golubic go to another car, or?
Well, yeah, he started driving for Keith Day. He had other offers. They'd went as far as they'd went with me financially, and you start getting other offers, and they moved on. And we're going to move on probably anyway. You move on. I'm just one guy in a shop. I mean, I'm not going to put you on the outlaw tour. You're not going to make a living driving for me. I started here. We got to there. It was time to move on. It was a bitter split, which was a shame, but that's the way it goes. And then I was out of racing, and then now we're going to a video here of 2015, of Shane and Justin racing at Ocean, and people want to know what happened. And I'm going to show you the wreck that the Golubics keep referring to this wreck. This is the crucial wreck in the feud. This is the wreck that they keep replying. Shane brought this up last year to Justin, and he goes, it's 7 years ago. Why does this keep being brought up? Every time they crash Justin, they go, well, you crashed me, and they go back to 2015. This is their hang-up.
And so for people to understand, the Keith Day ride that no one knows about outside of California, that's the Blue 22, correct?
Yeah, you got to pull farther in that video. You got to pull out to the 350.
Well, you just sent me links. I don't know where to go.
The 355 mark.
Is that Brad Fur? It is Brad Fur.
Yeah. Go to the 355
mark. And Justin's the 17, the yellow car. Some people don't know, so we're trying to set the setting here. And then Justin, I guess they had a double feature or something. He wins the first one.
No,
this is weeks after weeks. Okay. You said 355. Looks like there was an incident the prior week, I guess. He got his nose chopped off. Okay, 355.
Yeah, that was no big deal.
Okay, so this is the big deal. 355 right here. It's on 355
This
playing. If you can
is the
visualize.
wreck that they won't let Justin get off the hook. They're racing to the white flag. Okay? The white flag is waving. Watch this wreck.
Wow.
See that?
Yeah, just
See
play.
that wreck? Okay. Just pause it when they're entering. Okay, let's break down this wreck. We're going to pause this wreck. No one's done this ever but me. Justin could have crashed him in turn 3 if he wanted to crash him.
Okay, enter in turn 1. No, there's separation.
Okay. First, let me preface this. This wreck, when this wreck happened, John Golobic came up and assaulted Justin's dad in the pits.
What do you mean?
I had nothing to do with this. I wasn't even in racing. I'm just telling you what happened. He came up and punched Rick Sanders in the back of the head. He felt it was okay to assault Rick Sanders, John Golobic, because of what happened on that corner.
Okay.
Now, I'm out of the picture. I have nothing to do with this. But if you stop it where you're stopping it, let's dissect the wreck. It's the last lap of a race. There's 5 cars in the frame. Okay? There's 5 cars in this frame. When everybody watches it, their eyes go to the 2 cars that crashed. But look at the positioning of the other 3 cars. At the top of the screen, there's a car doing a 360. See that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That is Dustin Golobic. That's Shane's brother. He's spinning a 360. No one's pointing this out. When he spins the 360, the 2 other cars check up. Look at the black car. The black car straightens up and gets off the gas. See the black car in the middle of the track?
Yes, I got it paused.
He's off the gas. His car is straight. I think there's a chain reaction. When you look at Justin making contact, he can't see the black car. He can't see through Shane's car. I think Shane slightly checked up because of what his brother caused.
So you're saying this is Golobic on Golobic crime, in a way?
Well, I'm saying it's chain reaction. I don't think Justin intentionally crashes somebody by driving over their tank entering a turn. No, but that's not how you crash somebody if you're going to crash somebody. He's tangling himself up. Justin's lucky to drive away. That's not the way you would look at it. The car's tangled up. The fact that Justin got free was just luck. That was luck.
So you're saying that these 2 cars, or this Dustin, you says Dustin Golobic that's in this car that's spinning?
Yeah. I think he causes the wreck. He's causing the chain reaction of the 2 cars to straighten up.
And then you're thinking that Shane jumps on the binders or something right as
well,
they're
I don't
checking
think
up.
I don't think he jumps on the binders. I think he slows up just a touch, and it's just enough because look how close. How close are they going down the straightaway?
Right.
Justin's within a couple feet of him. So when something kind of unexpectedly, that's just what I'm seeing. And now I know everyone's going to have their different.
Well, and they probably think that it was retaliation because of this other wreck that actually accidentally started.
And Justin says that in Victory Lane. Justin says that. He said it's payback for last week. Justin does say that.
Okay. So he had verbal admittance. Admission is guilt.
Keep the video going. Keep the video going until the checkered flag. Okay, get off the wreck. Let it go for another 30 seconds. But this is the wreck that they will not. That Justin's whole career to them is this wreck.
There's payback right there. That's for last week.
Let the checkered flag play. I
believe.
don't know if you can hear what he's saying.
Okay. I just played it with volume. You're behind, obviously, but
okay. Well, I don't have the volume up.
I caught the clip it where he said it was payback for last week. But with your explanation, it is kind of a racing incident. I guess he's just like, well, anybody booing me right now, payback for last week.
I think Justin was emotional. I think both of them the week before and that were just cars getting tangled up to try to win.
But that does make sense with that car spinning up and everybody just getting out. Yeah, when they're that close, if Golobic lifts at all to slow up, contact is going to happen.
Well, I think both these are just racing incidents. But why was Rick Sanders assaulted? This is where I'm talking that the Golobics physically assaulted his dad. Why is that allowed?
Was there a police report?
Why?
Did they call the police or?
No, but I'm saying when Shane ran over Justin's family didn't go over and assault the Golubics. This is my problem with the Golubic. This is the problem I now have. Why are they allowed to do this? And nobody's going to speak up. Okay, now now we're going back in history. Let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Okay.
I just wanted to set the table with that. Let's go to the Andy Forsberg wreck from just a year or two ago. This is now
2X.
Yeah. Let's go to the Andy Forsberg because this
We're
I
already
think
there.
is a
We're
crucial
playing
piece.
it right now, Joe.
Well, let me just say, people pull this up. People comment, well, what about when Justin ran into Andy? Didn't he crash Andy? What did he do? You know, this is what they're going to bring up. I'm showing everything that Justin did wrong that I can find to show you. I don't think anything Justin did caused any real damage on any car. Did he bump people? Yes. Has he spun out a car here or there? Yes. Everybody has that races for the win out here. Whether it's Tim Kading, Bud Kading, John Allard, Brent Kading, everybody that wins races out here, you're going to make contact because it's the style of racing. It's the style. And Shane's as clean as you get. Sean Becker, Andy, Justin's all as clean as you get, but he is singled out as a dirty driver. They won't let these things
he shoots
go.
the gap in there trying to make something happen on the last lap. A little bang, people keep going. No cars flip, no cars off the track.
And no change of position, and go back and watch the previous two laps. You're jumping to the end. Watch it.
We just
Did
did
Andy
watch
race
the
him clean?
previous two laps.
Okay, did Andy race him clean? Did Andy pin him to the wall? It's rubber down garbage. Okay, this is not. People go, it's just a heat race. I go, this determines if you're in the dash. Andy starts in the second row. Justin starts in the fifth row. If you don't make this pass, you're not going to win. You have to make this pass for Justin to win the race. He raced Andy as clean as he could. He made a slight bump. It's a slight bump, no damage to any car. And you let this video roll. This is where Andy gets out of his car and starts throwing punches. This action right here, once again, it creates violence towards Justin, and everyone's happy with it. Nobody has a problem with Justin bumping a car. And we're going to get out of the car, and we're going to start throwing punches. Let it roll. Once again, violence towards the Sanders family for an innocent bump.
Well, I heard if you have if you sign the pit release form, it's fine or something. I don't know about that, but
why is violence towards the Sanders family? This is why I'm sticking up with it. If someone can show me the other way around, show me it the other way around. Look at this. Why is this happening?
You're behind, but they're out of the car. Forsberg's in his face. They're all scruffling. I'm trying to go behind 30 seconds so you could be in the same frame, but.
Well, I'm trying to come up with video evidence to clearly explain what is going on out here. Now, if people have other videos, I would welcome them to come on the show and show the videos of why Sanders is treated the way he's treated. They're going to say he's a dirty driver. I go, okay, he bumped the car. Is that dirty, Chaz? Was that dirtier than what the Dom did?
No. I mean, intent. I mean, at that point of intent, I mean, you could come at it from devil's advocate position. I mean, obviously he knew he wasn't gonna not make contact to throw the car in there like that. But you never know.
It's a slight bump.
It's a rubber down one lane racetrack is the issue here, more so than the driving.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the intent of what the driver did. He tried to get under the guy. He slid out of the rubber and he bumped him. It's a bump. There's no damage.
Right.
Did Dominic cause any damage to the Golubic car when he jammed it into the wall? How come there's no retaliation? But why doesn't the Golubic family retaliate to Dominic Scelzi? Why was there never been retaliation for what Dom did? That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I'm sure there was some words exchanged that night.
Yeah, but he didn't junk Justin's car.
Right.
Okay, go to the next video.
Okay. What do we have here?
Last year,
he bumps me, I
last
crash
year golf.
him.
That's right. This is a scenario that this is last year. This is Placerville, and I want you to determine if Justin's dirty driving and the retaliation is equal.
Okay, where is Justin
in the
at
Paul Silva
here? Okay, in
Paul
the
Silva car.
Okay.
This is a restart with about 5 to go. This is a restart with 5 to go. And when Justin gets to turn 3 and dives under him and he clears him, pause the camera. Okay. Is it a clean pass? Is that a clean pass? Is that a dirty maneuver? Is he trying to crash Shane? Is he trying to crash Shane, or is he trying to pass Shane?
He definitely
what is he trying to do?
He definitely put him in a hit the brakes or get a right rear scenario. Is
Okay.
what I see.
Okay, so is that a dirty move? A borderline
Some could
dirty?
see it that way. If you're Shane Golobic, it definitely pisses you off when you see that coming. You know.
Okay, but look at the position of the cars. He is ahead of Shane when he's sliding in front of him. He has cleared him. Well, maybe
Well,
not.
yeah,
cleared
but
him.
Golubic's on the brakes right there. I mean,
that's right.
he sees
but
it.
Golobic has time.
Over, but...
He has time. He has time to see it coming. And
right.
And, yeah. Okay. That is a borderline dirty. Yeah, I'll give you that. Is it sketchy? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. Is that dirty driving?
Some would classify it as yes, it's borderline, like you said.
Okay. Paul Silva didn't like it, I heard.
It's borderline.
Okay, it's borderline. That's borderline. Okay, let's see the retaliation a few months later. You
Where
tell me
is
if the
that
retaliation
at? Is that in this video?
Okay. Keep it rolling. Now,
Okay.
Was there any damage on Golubic's car? Was there any damage on Golubic's car?
I don't think so. He's still going. All right, so now the 4SA just popped on the screen.
But wait,
and
the Forsberg
Sanders
car
is in
had
the
no
4SA.
Yeah.
The Forsberg car had no damage, is what you're saying, that no damage was caused by Justin's questionable dirty driving.
That's right. There's no
Okay.
damage.
Oh, whoa. What's this 4SA just flipped off the track?
Yeah.
What just happened? What is this? And that's Sanders in
Well,
the
the
4SA,
camera-
correct?
Yeah, he was leading the race, and Golubic gave him nowhere to go, and he destroyed equipment. Is it equal?
Do they have another replay of this or no?
Yeah, kind of. It's not very good. The infield shot. Pause the infield shot when it runs a couple times. When Justin is off the track, Shane is not ahead of him. He's alongside him at best. Justin has no way out. He was not given an option of lifting. The equipment was destroyed here. That's the payback. If I bump you, you can cause thousands of dollars in damage. Is that equal? Is that tit for tat, Chad?
It don't look like it.
They think it is.
Yeah.
They think Justin got what he deserved. Justin got what he deserved. He did this. The announcer says, well, we had a similar move earlier in the year. Was it similar what Justin did? Is it similar?
No, because it looks like the nose of Golubic's car is in the left rear of the 4SA right here.
Okay.
Looks
The announcer
like it.
said it was similar. Yeah. The interview, Shane, and you can listen to the audio, he basically is admitting he did it on purpose.
Wow.
He said they've done it to me a lot, but we have no video. He's going to go back to that 5-7-year-old video that his brother caused the chain reaction. They keep going back. Every time you can crash Justin, they keep going back to 2015. Look, what did you see? Who hugged him when he got out of the car first? That's important. Watch who hugs Shane when he gets out of the car. See the first person over to the car. See who that is?
Right there, we just got the hug.
That's Colby Copeland. That's Colby Copeland hugging Shane for crashing out Justin. That's what that is. See that? Because we're going to get to that in a minute. See that? Patting him on the chest. Good job. Way to go. And you know what's unusual about this is the Placerville race, generally the only one who stops on the front stretch is the leader, Okay, you hear what I'm saying? Only the leader stops.
Yeah.
Copeland shouldn't be stopping. There's no third place car on the front straightaway. Copeland just stopped to congratulate Shane. That's not Placerville etiquette. But he was so happy for what Shane did, he couldn't wait to congratulate him. He didn't want to wait to the pits. He wanted to be in full view.
That's your
You ever shaken
assumption.
his hand? Okay, yeah, I'm just making stuff up now.
I mean,
That's what I'm reading with the body.
You speculate that's why he did that, because he was proud.
Well, why is Copeland stopped on the front straightaway when only the winner stops? Why is the second place car stopping?
I don't know, but you're saying the reason as to why is you speculate or believe that it was to congratulate Shane for destroying Justin.
Well, why is Copeland there?
I don't know.
Second place doesn't stop. Well,
they're
watch
friends,
other races.
right?
Copeland runs. Well, that's what we'll get to it. We got more video to cover.
Okay. Yeah, there's two more tabs open. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we got 2 more to go. We're almost done, people. We're winding down.
Yeah, is it winding down or is it about to wrap up? That's the question.
Hey, Spike said he'll be security for Sanders. You might need to be security for me, too.
Are you fearful of your life, Joe?
I'm
people
planning to buy a
who,
gun tomorrow.
You're buying a gun? What?
I'm going to buy a gun tomorrow.
You're buying a gun?
You're from Texas. I never bought a gun. I'm going to go buy a gun tomorrow.
Why do you think that
packing.
this? Are you fearful?
Just
I mean, you're saying how the Golubics have run around and apparently, hit people with no repercussion. Is that part of the fear? You're worried about anyone in that circle thinking they're above the law?
Just old.
Technically,
I think it's just good to protect myself. Let's go. Let's get back to the videos. Let's
okay.
get back to the videos.
Let's go back to the next video. This is You Spin Me, I Send You Flipping Off the Track. Interesting titles.
Okay,
you say I make clickbait. You say I make clickbait. What is this?
Wait. This video you got to play from the start because this sets up the whole shebang. On you need the previous
so
2 or 3 laps.
Who's involved here?
This is Kobe Copeland in the 16A. This is Justin in the 57, and it's Kyle Hurst in the 0 car. Go from the start.
Okay.
It's not that long of a video. A couple minutes.
We just push play on the video.
Kind of racing. Watch what racing that's going on. That's Copeland. There's Hurst in the 0 car. See how Hurst passed Justin? See how we're doing this? Nice clean pass. Okay, he kind of veers down the straightaway trying to pinch Justin. They slide up.
We're off a 2.
There's slight contact between the 2. Now watch. Okay, Hurst is in the second. Justin's in third.
We're in turn 2.
Copeland's leading. He has to check up for Billy Aton. Hurst is going to get a run. Watch how Hurst comes in.
That's
Hurst
close.
rockets in.
Clears
Close.
them, though. I mean, I'd say it's close. Cleaner than the Sanders deal. That one's not.
Okay, watch this one.
That was not. Wow. Yeah, it just happened.
Is that the same as what Sanders did to Golubic?
No, but okay, now he got contact with Copeland and Sanders.
Okay. What do you think Justin took that guy out on purpose?
I mean, it's close racing. It's like you led this off
but
with close
if you're
California racing.
That's what I'm saying. There was contact between Hurst and Justin, and there was almost contact between Hurst and Copeland, and then there's contact between Justin and Copeland. I mean, this is the style. This is what's going on here. There's bumping and banging all over the place. Did Copeland get the short end of the stick? Yeah. Should Copeland not be happy with it? Yeah, he shouldn't be. Justin, but was it intentful? I mean, or is this just what was going on out there?
Yeah.
Are you going to spin out a guy where he spins right in front of you and you T-bone him? Is that the way you're going to take somebody out? I mean, look when Justin first makes contact with Copeland. Copeland's blocking his path. Is that the way a professional would? If you're going to take somebody out, you're going to risk taking yourself out? Is it a slight bang? Is it a violent hit? Is it dirty driving?
Left rear. It looks like his left rear drives over Justin's right front, and that's where the tangle impact point is.
Okay, now you're waiting for the payback. Is there any damage to the 16A? Is there any damage, you think? Maybe a left rear outer, maybe?
It don't look like it, but we're letting the video play.
Okay, let's go to the payback. Let's go to the payback where Copeland pays him back.
Okay, so we're at a drone shot.
I don't think
oh, whoa, what's that car? Whoa. We got two cars flipping now from a drone shot.
This is the payback.
Okay, so wait, these are two different colored cars, though.
That's Copeland and Justin.
Okay, so Copeland's in this. Copeland's in that black-white car, and I guess Justin's based on the color. Is that the 2X?
Yeah. I'm gonna wheel you, and you're gonna go flipping off the track, and I'm gonna hit the wall and junk my own car. Is there intent in that? Is that equal payback for what we saw earlier, Chaz? That's my question. Nobody in the pits has a problem with this, and the promoters don't have a problem with it. And in both cases, Shane and Copeland admitting to crashing him on purpose, and nobody has a problem with it. The promoters let it. What if Justin had got? Yeah. And once again, when Copeland's crew, they assaulted a member of Justin's crew. Violence was inflicted on one of Justin's crewmen in the aftermath. Once again.
Who was that?
What do you mean?
You said before it was Justin's father.
This was Hunter Brady. One of Justin's crewmen, Hunter Brady, got beat up or punched by one of the crew of the 5V.
I'm just surprised. Well, I've heard people say that if you sign the waiver at the gate, you can get beat up, but I don't think that is actually true. So anybody who tries to tell you that, none of these people are above the law.
So we're gonna crash you off the track, and then we're gonna assault one of your crew members when you come over to confront us. But Copeland won't fight Justin. See how he'll hide? He's gonna hide. He's gonna stand behind his crew. He has no repercussions from this. Copeland can do this. He's in a position of Sweet's friend and Larson's friend and the promoter's friends, and he can do this and get away with it with no repercussions financially or in any way. In fact, the pit area, I think, enjoys this.
Now, did Justin and the crew go over there and get assaulted?
That's right. That's right.
Well, and so the whole narrative of, well, if you come in the guy's pit and you get whooped, that's just fine type of deal, I guess.
Okay,
was the narrative.
Well, it's just fine. It's just fine then. The sport, the violence is okay. Why are these officials stopping Justin from getting to Copeland? What are they stopping him for?
No fighting, I'd assume.
But you can junk a guy's car. What if Justin had landed and paralyzed himself?
That is true. These are deadly weapons if you want to make them one.
Well, this is what Dominic is talking about, but Dominic doesn't mention this. He mentions Torgerson. We're wrapping this up in conclusion almost. Dominic did not speak out on this. He said Copeland wiping out Sanders is fine by his silence. They're saying this is fine, but what Torgerson did is wrong, and I'm calling out Torgerson for being young. But a guy with intent with the deadly weapon of a race car, where Torgerson maybe made a mistake in his youth. It's the word intent. What is right and what is wrong? Let the public decide.
That's what you say. Just show them the evidence and let them choose.
Let the and people can say I'm complaining, and if you want to call me showing evidence complaining, then you can. Okay, now here we're going to go to Corey Day.
Okay.
This is important to Justin's career. This was his last night driving for Paul Silva. That's the 360 race. Okay. This is the 360 race at Hanford. It's a doubleheader. Hanford. There's 360s and 410s. It's Corey Day in the 14 and Justin in the 4SA. This is the 360 race. And Golovic, of course.
Corey Day in the 41 in the 360s?
Yeah, 41. You're right. That's the family car. You're right, the 41. Okay. Watch the pass Justin makes on him in turn 2. not this pass.
Okay.
I'm trying to let the race little develop for a lap or two, so you get a feel of what leads up to this pass. Okay, this Justin Sanders pass. I don't know why the camera freezes there, but see the pass on turn 2. Watch what happens to Corey Day. Okay, is that dirty? Is that move right there dirty? That right there.
It's
is that dirty
him, but
drive?
He left him a lane. He did leave him a lane, and it looks like Day made
okay.
some
Is that dirty drive? I want the public. Is that dirty driving?
Right. Well, it looks like Day gasses it up. You can almost see the rooster tail of the car, and then it tightens up and pushes. You know.
Okay. Do you see that? Is that dirty driving on Justin Sanders' part right there?
It looks like zero contact.
But he forced Day off the track, maybe. Did he force him off the track?
I don't think he forced him off the track. It looks like he left him a lane. It was just a really hard lane to run, and it looks like Day just pushed too much up over the cushion and throttled it up a little bit too much, and it tightened it over and lost control in a very tight spot. And at that point, you got to go off the track. You can't correct it because Justin forced him in a very uncomfortable position. That's for sure.
Justin, the retaliation's coming. The retaliation for that move, well, they have a 4:10 race an hour later.
Okay, Golubic gets by. Does Golubic win this race?
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay.
The 4:10 race.
This is the 4:10s. Here we go. We just swapped to 4:10s. Day's
this
leading.
Is the 4:10 race. Wait, pause it for a second. This is $11,000 to win. This is the Peter Murphy 11. The track is rubbered down. This is $11,000 to win. There's 10 laps to go. 11,000 to win. It's rubbered down. Let it go. This is the retaliation.
Okay. Day held up by a lapper.
That's right. And he gets out of the rubber.
And he jumps the track almost like he did with Sanders to his inside.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. It was a driver error in an uncomfortable position. Sanders with a huge run, drives it in there like you have to. Clean pass.
For 11
I'd say
grand?
that's a clean slider. That's a very oh, whoa, what happened?
Well, the video glitches there. It wasn't there'll be a different angle. The video glitches, which is a shame.
Right now, this is as close as a clean slider can get because it's a paper thin slider.
Yep, and it's 11 grand to win on a rubber down track. I don't know why the video glitches, but
okay.
They'll show.
Here's the video. Okay, it just showed the straightaway view.
That's right.
Oh wow! They drove over the nose.
Corey Day pins Justin to the wall, just like. Is this similar to Torgerson and Garcia?
Very similar, yes.
But Dom is running third. If you notice, the 41's right there.
Yeah, they're right there. In the background.
Dom, nobody had a problem with this. Dom did not say Corey Day was dirty driving. Dom won the 11 grand. Dominic Scelzi won the 11 grand because of Corey Day driving. It looks to me, now people can look. Okay.
You can kind of see that he aimed for him. If you look at the before the video freezes, you could see that Day's,
it's a shame the video freezes there. I know he does. He angles straight towards the wall. You're right. He's coming right at us.
Right.
The intent. I'm going to the word intent. This wreck was very lucky both cars didn't start flipping. Once again, the intent. Okay, now the aftermath of this is an important part of how Justin is treated. He was fired by Paul Silva.
After this, did he have success in the 57 at all?
He won 5 out of 11.
But this was it.
Paul, based on what people have told me and what I've heard and what Justin has said to me, that Paul Silva said, you deserve this because you ran him hard in the 360 race. If you drive people that way, they're going to drive you that way. That was the explanation.
So they're equating that move in the 360 race,
That's
left
right.
a lane for a car. It looks like Corey Day jumped the cushion a little bit. There's a lane up there. and forced off, almost similar to the driver error that he made in the 410 race. Did it on his own. Almost the same thing what happened here with Day. Because if you look at it, it jumps the cushion and he grabs too much, front end folds over, and he goes off the back straightaway. Very similar to what happened here, just it was obviously a little tighter of a lane he had to hold. So they're saying this move right here is why this move down here happened.
That's right. And Corey Day had every right to do it.
And that's why he's fired from the 57.
That's right. It was all him.
Paul don't want to deal with this.
Well, this is how Justin's treated. That's what I'm getting at. And people will say, I'm on Justin's side. Like, show me another driver that these are happening to, and I'll stand up for them. I'm not a homer. I'm not a homer.
Well, and are you saying that that's kind of the homer situation with the Garcia and the Tarleton and the whole Fresno or Central, what is it called, Central Valley or something? And is it Day from that same region as well? Proximity again?
Yeah. And the ironic thing is the next time Paul Silva ran, he put Corey Day in it, and he won 2 in a row. The next driver was Corey Day. Corey Day got rewarded for this behavior. Paul put him in the car.
Interesting.
You crashed my car.
The problem. Yeah.
You crashed my car, and I'm going to reward you with the ride. If you crash out Justin Sanders because he ran you tough in the 360 race, you get the ride. That's the message. That's probably why everybody's crashing Justin. They think Paul Silva will call.
Wow.
How about them? How about them?
Didn't Justin drive the 16 car that Copeland's in too?
Yeah, that went for a while. Yeah,
because they did ASCS in the Midwest and everything in the 16 car, right?
Well, he left that ride.
Wasn't it Justin left the 16 for the 57? I think was that the timeline?
Right. That's right. Yep.
Well, and obviously we would assume that Paul Silva and Kyle Larson are close. And for those who don't know it, Kobe Copeland and Kyle are pretty close. So that's how you're drawing this cartel. Man at Kyle's wedding. Right.
Copeland was at Golubic's wedding. They're all best friends. So
that's how you're drawing the buddy system.
Copeland, Golubic, Larson, they're best of friends. And Justin did nothing but win the races. And then after Corey Day drove it, they put Golubic in it, and he went 0 for 10. Paul didn't have a problem with that. He had a problem with Justin. Justin was the guy he fired.
Justin was the problem for the clique.
He was the problem. Well, they didn't like they didn't like Justin's attitude. You know, he for whatever reason.
The Macris ain't said nothing bad about Justin's attitude.
I don't think anybody that
Swindell hasn't.
Is that? Well, that's what I'm saying. I already know he's fielding offers for next year from high-profile people. It's just these people here, these 4 or 5 people here, have a problem, and they keep. And the only reason I'm now speaking up is because I think with Justin's success, he has the leverage and the notoriety where, if he was still here, it could hurt his career because, he's still in the same pond. But now that he's ventured out and he's shown people what he can do, and people see how he handles himself when they see who he is without these predetermined notions that he crashed Golubic once in 2015 because the Golubic's brother was doing a loop-de-loop, and they're envious of the success, which it really is. Really, when it comes down to it. That they're going to make up reasons to crash him. They're going to see, I thought this would be interesting. You give me a little chance to prepare, and I could put this out there for the public. I thought this.
Somebody said,
episode
well, why
should
would
be
he put him in the 57 to begin with if there was this big problem with him?
That's a good question.
I think it was a mental war. I assume when I saw that, I thought it was a mental war. I thought that was the clique going to give him a big hopeful opportunity just to take it away, to mess with him mentally so that they can kind of fuck him up behind the wheel. That's what I assumed when I saw it happen.
Now, I don't know if you want to. I just thought this would be a good bookend to the show, starting with Torgerson and Rex. And I mean, if you want to go a little bit longer, if you want to go to that King of the West debacle at Merced, the first time Justin drove for Paul, because you're saying someone commented that Justin had to knock a car out of the way to win that race. We can go back and watch that video, which the worst call in the history of sprint car racing was made against Dominic Scelzi. He passed Justin. He went like a lap and a half, and they didn't count the lap.
Which race was this? This is August 26, 2021? Maybe?
Maybe. I should.
Is it when the Tarleton car and him were on the pole and Scelzi's in third?
I don't know. Let me see the video catch up. This is this race, the officiating, and this is a disgrace. Dominic, yeah, you kind of should show the whole race. I don't know if you want to see the whole race, but
I don't know if
see the car spinning out. See the 78 cars. Watch the 78 car is the crucial car here. See him. The 78 car was run out of racing because of this race. He's in multiple wrecks. The 78 car. This is a guy who shouldn't really be on the track. Yeah.
Okay, Dom passes.
Okay, that's where
Justin.
Okay, watch how much farther the race goes. I think he passed him at the line. Isn't this a whole lap completed?
Looks like it.
Did he have him at the line?
Yellow out.
Dom went a lap and a third. And they give Justin the lead back.
That is
go back to did he have him at the flag stand the first time he went by him?
Let's see.
Did Dom have Justin at the flag stand? Okay, that's what I want to see.
I'm going to say no.
You're saying right there he did? Oh, I don't know. He might have.
I don't think so. No. By a half car. By a nose. Yeah, he still has him after
where's
the
the
flag stand by a wing.
Okay. I thought Dom had him there, so. But this is unusual. Dom actually passes somebody and goes over a lap. Watch when this yellow comes out. See the yellow black car in the way?
Yeah.
See how that guy's in the way of everybody?
Yeah. That might be one of the old parts that Torgerson's talking about.
But he's going to cause the 78 car is going to spin out and cause contact with Neto. So the 78 car, really should have been black flagged, really, because he shouldn't be out there. And you said someone called you and said Justin had to knock someone out of the way to win this race.
I think so. Where is that at?
But you'll see it. Keep it going.
Okay, 78 just spun. Oh, got Neto.
Okay.
Caution out? Yes, okay.
Okay, the 78 car is just...
Go ahead.
Okay, watch the contact, Sanders. He said Justin had to hit the lap car to win the race. Now, you tell me if it benefits Justin to hit this car. Watch.
Definitely held him back a little bit.
Well, he lost the lead. But what happens is Corey Day, the Tarleton car runs over the 78 and goes flipping off the track to give Justin the lead back.
Oh gosh! Wow.
So the claim. I'm going to the claim. The claim that Justin had to knock a car out of the way to win this race is completely wrong. He almost cost him the race.
Yeah.
Someone called you and said Justin had to knock a car out of the way to win. No, the hitting the car cost him the lead. He's lucky the yellow came out. So once again, people are saying things, and the video shows what they're saying wrong. That's why I'm going to try to keep referring to videos, because people can see it.
Right. They can't just say you voted for Hillary and say you're wrong when it's like.
Yeah, these people call you on the phone and they accuse all these things, but they won't come on the show and they got no video evidence.
Well, the people calling are pretty mad at you, Joe. They're pretty mad. I mean, it seems. Have you ever had issues with some of these people, like in real life? I mean, your WRAYVON.com has an address to it. You know, it's like your door's open all the time.
I get confronted. I get confronted at the track. I've been confronted here in my business, sure. Because no one's around. That's why I have cameras now. I'm going to film everything I do.
Well, and now a gun. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Now you've purchased a gun because you're worried about the cartel coming after you, literally.
Well, I'm just trying to show the facts of the video, but they make claims and they accuse things that without a video, you know, that's why I try to give Cali Dirt Video some cash when I see him, because I want him to keep videoing, because without his drone shots, sometimes we'd have no evidence.
Well, now they're going to go after him, Joe, and tell him to never give you anything ever again. They're coming for you now.
Well, no.
They're going to track Cali Dirt down.
He posts things on video. He's just filming. And I want him to keep filming. I want to support him to film because I want this out there. And as I said again, I keep begging for anyone to come on the show and dispute or debate, not even dispute, just debate what I'm seeing. Like Tony Gomes did. We need the Tony Gomes people out there to straighten me out if what I'm saying looks like it's slanted towards Justin. And that's the claims. Joe, you're slanting it. No, I'm only pointing it out because it's happening to him. If it happened to Sean Becker.
Admit it right now, Joe. You sit there and touch yourself to Justin Sanders videos. That's what I was told.
I've been accused of that.
You've been accused of exposing yourself in your office at your job to the screen of Justin Sanders. And that's what they're saying.
You know what? They will always use name calling and try to sensationalize, or I don't know what the right word is.
There isn't a word for it, I don't think.
And what I am. You know, I'm sending you a video.
Oh, no. Another one? Another one, Joe?
No, this is different.
And another one.
I wanted... No, not for today. This show, I kind of, there's other subject we could touch on. I mean, obviously I could, but the Torgerson thing that happened this week, and I thought this stuff I thought it was good timing to bring this out, and then we can move on to other things. But I just sent you a video. I think just for your viewers, it might be interesting.
What in the hell is this? Silk screening?
This is what I do for a living. I've given these panels.
Systems.
Those panels are white when I get them. I screen the light green,
7 midgets. What do you mean? I thought you ran a midget team, 7 cars or something.
I had a 7-car midget team, and it went out of business, so I have to go to silk screen, because silk screening is easy.
Oh.
What I'm showing you there is very easy to do. Anybody could do this. Just buy some ink and buy a screen and set up and mix those colors. And I'll show you the 100 parts with no room for error, with registration and colors and ink, that you can be as successful as me if you learn how to do this. I've been told by a driver this is very, very easy to do, and anybody could do it. So anybody could do that. I just thought it was interesting. People might want to see what
it seems like it's a pretty pivotal scheme, or a pivotal skill. Literally.
Look at that. Look at that registration there. Look how I got that green little triangle inside the pivot word. Look at that. Dead on. Perfect. Those parts are perfect. Sometimes I have trouble because there's dirt in the paint and it'll blur a letter. So you got to keep your eye on it. But it's tedious work. I'm not saying it's hard work.
Well, there wouldn't be dirt in the paint, Joe, if you took a shower. You know, a broke, smelly Joe, they say.
No, the dirt comes in the paint. The paint, the painter's paint room, particles in the air sometimes stick to the paint. It's not a perfect world, but I've been told this is real easy work. So
this is how you become broke. Broke Joe.
I'm 66 years old and I'm still cranking out jobs like that.
No, but you don't have nothing but a shop and a squeegee. That's all you got.
I got ink. Got screens.
That's it.
Yes, I taught myself this 45 years ago. I asked people, I researched things.
Those six mansions in Santa Clara that you own, that's not real. The 3 houses down in Fremont that, are 2.3 million. You don't own, nobody knows about how broke you actually are. The land tax is expensive over there,
I'm barely getting by.
Yeah.
I can't afford racing. I'd be right out there.
Exactly. That's the point.
Because I could maybe get my car junked and get roughed up in the same night.
Somebody asked, can Corey Day do it? They said the Chaz can't do it.
What is he saying? Do it? Can they silk? Is he talking about silk screening?
Yeah, I think they're talking about silk screening. Somebody said Larson. Can he do it? Could Kyle Larson do it? Could Cole Macedo do it?
Well, I was told it was easy. Apparently, that means anybody could do it.
Apparently.
I'm sure there's people who want to just start a. Someone said, "How many heads do you have on your printer machine?" I don't have a printer machine. I have a frame.
Somebody is saying now that you screened the high limit trophy and left the I out of the ING.
No, I didn't get that job. They didn't. I don't do trophies. I could have screened the plaque on the trophy maybe, but no. I don't have. The point is, there's no machine that does that. Those parts aren't like inserted into a machine and they come out that way. Each color has to be individually put on. I cycled through those parts 7 times. I picked them up, I set them down, I did one color, and I do like the pivotal word on all of them. Then I come back after it dries and I put the little triangle in, and then I come back and do the light green. In fact, the light green color was what I was screening when you called me 2 or 3 days ago. I was in the middle of doing the light green.
Oh, okay. You weren't in front of the computer touching yourself to Justin Sanders' videos. No,
I didn't happen to be at that time. I was watching Hillary Clinton videos.
At that time, yeah.
But
Hillary Clinton.
If you see pictures of Hillary when she was young, she did look pretty good.
Oh my! I can't believe you said that. That's
that's
the straw that broke the camel's back right there. That statement.
Wait. Someone said, how many times has Justin drove for you? See, this is pretty good. I'll finish on some of these questions. Justin drove approximately 25 races in my car. It was pretty much about 19 410 races, about 20 410 races, and about 5 or 6 360 races. How many packs of cards has Joe ripped? If you want to look at cards, maybe if you want to do this for a second, I got a card in today and I was all excited.
Oh no!
If you on your computer, can you go to the PSA, punch in PSA certification, and put the certification number in on the card I got today, and see if you can show the people what I was all excited. I got this card in the mail today that I bought.
I think we should be able to able to look it up, right?
Yeah, if you go to PSA certification, there'll be a little window and you can put in a number. My certification number in the card that I received today that I was all excited about. One of my favorite players. 660-98807.
Okay. Willie Mays.
Is it that card? That card I got in the mail today. See that? Can you zoom in on Willie? That's a signed Willie Mays. See the signature and ballpoint pen?
Yep.
That's a 1961. Now you see here the key factor is the card has not been graded. It says authentic. It's authentic, but the card and the autograph have not been graded.
Right.
So this is kind of a gamble I take. I examine the card, the front and the back of the card, and I paid, what did I pay for this? I paid like $1,900 for this card. This, because it's ungraded, there is some unknown. If this card comes back, I think the autograph's going to be a 9. Because it does say mint 9 down there. If you pull down, which is, here's what's weird.
Yeah,
if you pull down, it says mint 9, but there's no mint 9 on the holder. So I'm confused why it says autograph grade mint 9, and then when you look at the card, there's no autograph grade.
Yeah, that's
when you look at the card.
It must be an old certification or authentic grading. It must be kind of old when they did it.
It's just something weird. But if this card comes back a 5 with a 9 autograph, I'm saying that's a $5,000 card.
Damn.
A signed 61 Willie Mays with a 5 grade card and a 9 autograph. So I got to send that off. It takes a couple months to get it back.
Nice.
So I'm excited by that. That's more fun than having my card junked and getting beat up and insulted and yelled at.
Right.
I know that might be hard for people to believe, that I do other things that I find enjoyable other than paying. First off, I don't know why I have to pay a pit pass. I don't understand the sport is set up where they want me to pay a pit pass. Listen, I'm bringing a car out here. Tom Brady's not paying for parking at the football game, okay?
That's a good point.
Why these car owners don't say, listen, we're not paying pit passes. Listen, I'm bringing $200,000 worth of equipment out here, and you want to clip me for $45. How about forget it?
That's a good point.
What if all the car owners said, we're not paying the pit pass tonight? What would the promoter do? Cancel the show?
I guess. The economics of the sport are completely fucked.
Or he would just take it out of the purse? I mean, why am I paying?
The economics are completely fucked. It all starts with the front grandstand. Since that front grandstands went away, that back gate has to pay these bills.
Yeah, then you need 6 divisions.
Right. Exactly.
And then it's a catch-22. Then people don't show up because there's 6 divisions. And then you got no fans, and then you need 7 divisions, and then I don't know what it is.
Right. It's true.
This is going back to very early in the video. These are 2-hour-long videos of the blame of the sport is in how the sport is set up and structured. It's structured for things to not be right, and when things don't go right, then they blame the individuals. They'll blame me for showing the videos. They'll blame the Torgerson kid. They'll blame whoever they're blaming, when the real problem is the people who are running or who are in control. It's like the homeless people can't solve the homeless problem. The poor people, you need the people who have the means to solve the problems, solving the problems. But this doesn't happen in America. It's every man for themselves.
Right. Okay.
But everyone just goes along. Everyone just. Dom won the $11,000 at the Peter Murphy Classic, so he was happy that Corey Day crashed out Justin. Dom said nothing about it in Victory Lane, if I remember correctly. There's no self-policing. But let me end on something here. I'm going to end on something here, and this could maybe get me in trouble with friends of mine, because I feel it's important that I kind of end on this, because people say, Joe's a homer and he's going to be friends with Justin, and Justin could do no wrong. So I think it's important I tell this story to end on, to kind of bookend this, of why there's problems in the sport, and if no one self-polices their own team, things can escalate. This year, Ricky Sanders drove my car at Ocean and had all intentions of going out there and helping him and, trying to help him win races. But after 6 weeks, I realized I was no help. I saw some things on the track that I didn't like from him. And this goes back to Dominic Scelzi. We're going to start with Dominic, we're going to end with Dominic. Dominic Scelzi has on more than one occasion at Ocean Speedway on the podium mentioned Ricky Sanders driving. Okay? He wasn't specific, but he mentioned to the effect he didn't really like what Ricky Sanders was doing on the track. Okay? And Ricky, I think on one of these occasions, was in my car. And I had a conversation with another driver, veteran driver, Willie Croft. And me and Willie talked about moves that Ricky made on Willie. And another driver, Joey Ancona, who I'm friends with, wasn't happy with certain moves. And I myself was not happy with it because I don't think my car should be driven in a certain way. When Dom talks about going straight down the straightaway, that's kind of what we're talking about. I didn't think my car was doing what I thought was correct. Now, I could have said, hey, who are they? I got the rose-colored glasses that people are claiming I do for the Sanders family. But I went to Ricky's dad, Rick, and I said, Rick, I don't think what he's doing is acceptable here. You know, he's chopping cars. That's not really the way you race. Rick Sanders did not agree with me. And for the most part, that was one of the factors that ended the relationship of Ricky Sanders being in my car. It was a difference of opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But if you drive my car and you represent my name and veteran drivers, I listen to what they're saying. I don't blow people off. And who are they to say anything? I go, you know what? It's these people are commenting, and I went back and looked at films and I watched things and I agreed with them, and that's as fair as I can be. I bring it on the people I'm involved with. If Justin, someone asked me if I ever had on one of your last shows, have I ever had a question with Justin's driving? Well, we had not in how he treated other people's equipment. I don't think my car ever contacted another car other than, I'm trying to remember, at a Stockton race, Kyle Oldfield drove over Justin's right rear into the straightaway, and the Oldfields were mad and confronted Justin, and we looked at the video, and it looked more like Kyle Oldfield made a judgment in error being in Justin's blind spot. So I didn't think Justin was in the wrong. But if he was in the wrong, I would have spoke to him. He did at Chico run Shane Stewart off the track the year after he crashed the car, which I thought that was okay. But there was no damage on Shane Stewart's car. So I never had a problem in the way Justin ran other racers with my car. I don't know if there's any video of him touching anybody. If there is, someone send it in. I mean, we had problems in that, not problems, but we worked. Sometimes he would do strategical things on the track in certain points in the race that we would talk about. You know, he maybe should have done this. I don't know if that's a problem. We were just debating kind of his positioning on the track and where he was. And I mean, you go back to the 2017 Gold Cup, the second outlaw race he ran for me. He led for 11 laps, came to Brent Marks, went high to lap him, gave up the lead. Shane Stewart beat him. We lost the Gold Cup probably because Justin made a mistake. So I don't want to say that's a problem. He made an error, but we would discuss things like that. So I never had a problem with him, but we're always open to discussing things that we thought we could improve on. So I'm just saying, I don't have rose-colored glasses. If you notice, Chaz, you should pick up on this. When we drove with Joey,
is it rose-colored glasses? And that's what I was trying to say earlier. I think a lot of car owners believe what you're saying, but I think in the age of the rent-a-ride, it's not rose-colored glasses, it's green-colored glasses. Because if a guy has paid a certain amount to get into the race car, you know, you halfway have to support it and halfway let it go, as long as they're paying the bills.
Well, I'm just saying how I self-police the product that I put on the track and the respect of other people's equipment. What I've shown in these videos is a complete lack of drivers, particularly at Justin, with vengeance and purpose, crashing him out and not caring about how other people drive. I mean, my car. If someone did what Copeland did to Justin in my car, they'd be fired and never to be seen again by me. I don't care who they did it to or what their reason. If someone did what Shane Stewart did to my car, they'd be done. There's no coming back from that. You don't do that. You could have hurt somebody.
So is it up to the car owners to more so self-police, or is it? Or
well, I think it's up to everybody as a group. I think it's everybody as a group, and I think when Dom spoke out against what my car did, I listened, and I took it seriously. And when a couple other drivers spoke out, I took it seriously. I didn't just say "F you guys, we're going to do what we want." I said they have a valid point, and it's painful for me when I'm trying to help somebody who needs the help, and I think I can help them. If they're not interested in my view, I just have to move on. I can't save the world. I can only live by the moral standard that I set for myself. And because these things can escalate. If you let drivers, what if my car purposely hit somebody and they died, or how would I live with that if I said I could have curbed it? I mean, I can't be that way. This goes back to how I was raised. I have to speak up. I can't let things go. I can't speak for other parents. I don't know what Gary Scelzi said to Dom when Dom got home from that race with how he ran Golovic. I don't know that. I don't see Dom as a dirty driver at all. He's one of the cleanest drivers out here, along with Shane and Becker and Forsberg. These guys race clean. But that was out of character, and somebody could have got hurt.
Right.
I mean, there's no cleaner driver than Donnie Shots. I don't even know if he's ever done a slide job.
Right.
He just passes people. I mean,
right.
There's the example. There's the example of and Brad Sweet in these guys. The thing is, to get farther along, and Dom says it in his post, you have to get the respect of people, and you have to have people see you race clean. And once again, to go back to Dom's post, he was dead on. He was right. He's right. But it's just I just thought these other things should be brought to light for your entertainment audience.
Well, 2.5 hours later, I think we're finally at the end of the stretch. Is that what you're telling everyone?
Oh yeah, because I have stuff written down. We'll have other shows. We'll have other topics. I just thought this would be.
If you survive, you might want to get that gun.
Well, I tried to make myself clear. I didn't vote for Hillary. When Justin made contact with cars, I put it on. I put the video up. I'm not hiding from his driving and his racing, and I want everyone to make their own opinion of what they're seeing. And I'll read the comments when it's over, and when people see this over the next day or so. And if I'm wrong on things, or I'm right, I'll take into consideration what the people are saying. That's all I can do.
All right.
Because maybe I am wrong, as Tony Gomes proved.
Right. He did get you on that.
He did, and we're gonna. He's our police monitor.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I don't think for this show. I've kind of done everything I need. I'm seeing if something comes in on the weekend. If not, I had a guy order a car from WRAYVON.com, and I'm kind of starting to assemble the car in here. I'm just getting everything. What do I got here? I'm putting some parts on a car and knocking in the bushings and straightening out his bolt kits. So I can, got to put a front axle together. I have a whole weekend of racing stuff. If no more screening comes in, I got 4 hours to go. So
right,
not screening at the moment. No. I
so
said,
no cards. I'm out chasing cards. I did not catch CJ Stroud last night, and I'm done.
Well, you want me to show you one more card that's going to go down with Willie Mays to be graded?
I mean, we can.
If you got your PSA certification tab open?
Well, I was trying to see if my Kenny Pickett had been certified yet.
No.
I have a submission. Yeah, I know. All right, what's the number?
They email you. 27298-375. Oh man, this card, I'm more excited than the Willie Mays card. I think this one might be a real.
This one don't have a picture up.
Huh.
This one does not have a picture up.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I don't know why sometimes they have a picture.
1,500 on eBay. Is that your transaction?
Yeah. Yeah, see how the price went up over just. Can you press the lot number on the eBay number and see if it shows what I bought?
Oh, yeah, I should be able to see that.
Yeah, I don't know why some have a picture and some don't.
It's only showing the back. That's
Oh no,
odd.
click. There should be a little arrow on the side of the card where you can click the. It turns the card over.
That's what I was
Well,
looking
click
for.
the other.
It doesn't look like it.
Click the other lot number. The card's been sold a couple of times. You can see the back of the card.
There's the front. There it is.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That. See, here's the trick. See, the autograph says it's been graded a 9.
Yes.
See that? I'm going to break it out of the case, and maybe the autograph will come back a 10. If that card comes back, I'm looking at it here really good in the light. If that card, and I think it's realistic, it could come back a 6 and a 10. Look at the centering on the front and back. If that card comes back a 6 and a 10, you know, I'll be happy with a 5 and a 9. But if it is a 6 and a 10, you know, you're getting up there to that $6,000-$7,000 mark, easy. On a 61. It's kind of funny. Both cards I have are 1961s. A 61 Mays and a 61 Aaron.
Wow.
That's just a random occurrence. But
so it cost you $1,500, $1,600 to buy it, and how much will it cost you to send it all in and everything?
Well, that doesn't count tax and shipping. So there's probably another $200 on that. That costs $1,750. To get that card graded, it's basically $130 to get shipped and graded.
Okay, and then you're looking at a potential $4,000 swing at that point.
Oh, I on this one, I'm betting, baby. This one, this one's going to be a moneymaker. This Hank Aaron, I mean, yeah, I can't wait to send this in. If it comes back a 6 and a 10, oh,
yeah, it
man.
says population 19. You can't find that on the newer cards.
Yeah, I think that's how many signed cards Hank Aaron signed that year, 1961. So if the thing that I do is, you know this, it's card number 415. If you punch in, 1961 Hank Aaron, just to give you a quick.
I've already looked it up. I got it up on the screen.
But do you have the DNA? Like how many cards?
Yeah, I got the DNAs.
If you look.
Total of 31.
Okay, he signed 31 cards that year, but how many of them are higher than what's the grade of the card?
1-9. There's only 1-9, and that's the one you got.
No. No. The 9 is the autograph. They're talking about the card.
No, I went to PSA DNA.
Yeah, but they're showing you the rating of the card. They're not showing you the rating of the autograph. See, there's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. There's 4 6s. There's 4. If this card comes back to 6, it's tied for second place on the best card he ever signed from that year. And we don't know what the autograph grade is on that 9. So if this comes back a 6, it could be the highest graded Hank Aaron card with a 10 autograph. If that's true, it would be a 10-gram card.
Wow.
That 9, it's weird that 1961 is that 9. That is the highest graded card that Hank Aaron ever signed in his whole life. It happened to be 1961. I don't know why.
So big money.
But this is kind of what I did. What? Oh yeah. But if you looked at the in Hank Aaron's whole career of signing cards, he only signed 5 8s. And he only signed that 1 9. That's the highest. Yeah, if you had 8 or 9, I have a Hank Aaron card that's an 8. So I think that elevates it. I have an 8, a 1970. I have a 1973 Hank here, and the card's an 8 and the autograph's a 9. So that puts it up in that $7,000-8,000 range real quick.
Well, all right. I guess we could get it out of here. I mean, we've talked about everything we can. 2.5 hours. We do have the day to live.
Yeah, it was an emotional show, man. I don't know. I mean, I just tried to be honest. I knew it was going to be hard to get through when we start talking about Bill. Man, just when I say his name, I almost start tearing up. It's just such a...
Well,
and that's 10 years. I can almost talk... it was 10 years ago. If you knew Bill... Man, the kind of guy he was, hard-working, sense of humor, friendly, just salt of the earth. You can't meet a better person than he was. And, man, the fact that all that was going on, just to kind of close here, with the Golubics and me and Bill, and all that was going on at the same time. And, Shane was growing up, and he was, 21, and he was starting to work on a car, and Bill got cancer, and they'd go visit him. And I can't go visit someone in the hospital because I'd stand there and cry the whole time. I had to kind of stay away. But for all that to be around the team, and for Shane to win that outlaw race, it's almost like it was, I don't know, what's the word, destined to happen, preordained to happen. It was just a convergence of events that, just being a human, they were so intense. It was just intensity of family and hard work, and a young man reaching his dream, and your friend passing away in the hospital. It was just a tough thing to live through. I don't want to say tough to live through. It was just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You can't really describe those things. You have to live through them. I can't describe feelings. The feelings you have when all that is swirling around in your... Yeah, when all that's swirling around in your daily life, it's still emotional this day, and I'm sure it is for the Golubics too. But that was the history. I tried to lay down the history of things in a way that I've never heard someone on a show like this talk. It's usually a yuck fest, or people just have observations on stuff. I thought it'd be more human, and I just thought it would be of interest to people because you get the Broke Joe persona, and I'm just kind of, as someone said to you, I'm just running my mouth, and I thought it would be important to do a different type of show. We'll have more fun next time, or it'll be more fun for me.
And we got to announce your new shirt. I have it almost fully designed. It is a penny, because they put Abraham Lincoln on the penny because he talked truth and wanted him to be worthless, so that was their joke at him.
I didn't know that.
We'll put him on a pin. We'll put you on a penny, and instead of the year, we'll put 121, and then at the top we'll put broke, and on the bottom we'll put Joe, and then underneath it, I think money over truth should be the slang term, or truth over money.
Yeah, there's we and Chaz a little bit talked off the air, and there's there's a lot of things I can't say because I don't have actual proof. I know they happened. I was there and they happened, but since I didn't film things and write things down, and it implicates people in things that Chaz thinks, these people can sue me with slanderous lawsuits if they want. So it's a shame. I live in a world where I can't say everything that I would like to say without repercussions, but I'll do the best I can.
Okay.
All right.
Guess we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Get that gun. Stay in the corner waiting.
I'll be checking that out. I'll be checking that out tomorrow. Maybe we'll send a picture of it and show you.
Oh God, show the audience. Well, you're gonna go to WRAYVON. Here's what's waiting on you.
Yeah, honesty. Maybe it's not for everybody.
That's why the First Amendment's so important. And the
okay,
Second Amendment protects the First.
I keep hating to say one last thing, but this is the one last thing I'm going to say. I've had a couple families with young drivers who are still in their teens kind of want to know if I'd be interested in helping them. Could you imagine that? I would think that any family reaching out for my help should go to John Golovic and have him make the decision if this is what they want.
Oh, God.
I tried to explain to a father a couple days ago. I said, it all sounds really good that you're going to have Joe, some experienced racer, and he's going to come out and coach your kid. And I was trying to tell him, I said, listen, I don't really think this is something you want to get involved in. I don't think I don't think I can change my ways of how I became successful to monitor, to shape it around your family dynamic. I don't know how else to describe it. That I don't think I'm capable of changing who I am to the point where if I see something wrong and I can't speak up about it, I'm okay with it. I couldn't do it. I'm learning things from myself. The Ricky Sanders experience, I learned more about myself and how I was, and I realized that I'm not right for most people. I'm learning about myself. It's not for everyone, and it's going to be too. I tried to tell this gentleman. I said it's. I don't think you want your family to go through what I would be saying. I don't think it's healthy for anybody. So that I'm not saying in the future I might not help somebody, but I don't think I can.
No sugar
I don't think I can.
on the cake.
As I told you earlier, when I was a kid and I'd get in a fight on the playground and I'd come home and my mom would say, "What are you telling me for? Go out there and solve it yourself." I was brought up. I wasn't brought up to. The 4-letter word in our house was soft. You can't be soft. You're just not going to be. And I see parents protecting kids, and I can't do that. And I've never been a parent, so I have no right to be the way I am around someone else's children. It's not my place. The lesson I learned with the Golovics. They would say I'm out of line, and they were right. They were right. I crossed the line between, I already said this on the show. We don't need to keep rehashing it, but so that's it. That's kind of the ending.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Jobs are done.
Thanks for having me on, and let me tell my story the best I can. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
All
Thanks
right,
for
bye.
calling in. Bye.
Okay.
There it was. Broke Joe called in and put the facts on the screen. I mean, some people say this and say that, but the facts roll out, and you can't stay away from them. A few other things that happened today. Devil's Bow post going around. It is the last World of Outlaw last race for the racetrack coming up here next week in Mesquite, Texas, the home birthplace of the World of Outlaws. There's always rumors every year that it's going to close. People in very powerful positions are saying it is over. This is the last race. So that's happened. You got some racing this weekend a little bit. I mean, Outlaws going to Lakeside 81. Could be some good races. Those tracks, 81 Speedway's always been a favorite track of mine. And then, of course, next weekend, you got the World of Outlaws and Devil's Bow last race down in Texas. And then you got the 3-day weekend or 2-day or Dirt Track World Championship, whatever they're doing down there at Eldora for the Lucas Oil Late Model Championship. That's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see how everything goes. What does everybody think? What do y'all think about what Joe laid out, put on the table here? I mean, the dots are easy to draw. The dots are easy to draw between the connections and the people and the regions and all the things that are happening over there on the West Coast. It is insane. It is crazy. But anyways, be sure to like the video, comment below, join the membership on the page. I believe it's down there below. Visit RAYVON.com if you got a sprint car team. He's got some of the cheapest parts in the country. But very well, very good quality at the same time. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. As always, be sure to subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
We can ride high, we can ride low, we can ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we